That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, now my YouTube stream just started. I love how if I'm not actively looking at the tab for the YouTube stream when it starts, it never starts the stream. Freaking love the interface. Anyway, 18 kills there on this crossbowman. This game, we all know the direction it's going. And it is all in favor here of Darkside. The dark side of the crescent moon. I tried. Alright, Imp's about to be in here for purple. I mean, it's really their last best chance, but you are going to be forced to push uphill. Syscon has spread out across this narrow isthmus of land. We'll have Dragonstar running around here with his Cavalier. They just suck. It feels like the AoE era where Suomi playstyle was especially good. A bit more passive, strategic, team play oriented is just not really where AoE is these days. Stoneflea's also landing over here. Starting some Elephant Archer production. I mean, this is just going to be not something that poor Vilessa can stand. I mean, like I said, they lost this map to the Aussies, so to be fair, they just don't seem to be very good on this map. Voobly graphics anymore? I have no problem with that. Oh, man. That Oasis game, and I still remember that Medi game as well. You're a graphics snoob? I mean, when I think of Fodler, I think of Snoob. Does anyone in chat disagree that Fodler's a Snoob? I don't think anyone does. Hello, Lodge. Anyway, this is all gonna get torched super fast. Great team games. I mean, it had fantastic moments. Again, that tournament was held together by spit and wishful thinking, and yet somehow produced some amazing memories. Even if it wasn't a financial success, like, it's a lot of people, I think, remember ECL super positively. Shame on me. That's my secret Fodler. I have no shame. Yeah, obviously this game isn't going anywhere for Suomi. Bubblegum? Nope. World of cubes and flat buildings. Oh, no. Oh, is Green going Coustelier? Oh, that's fun. That's cute. I'm gonna keep it real, guys. I have no idea why. Oh, hold on. I have a corgi. Corgi Online red, yep. And of course, as soon as I get up, the game ends. But obviously, that was over pretty darn early on. Stoneflea's completely flattening Vilessa because Vilessa had to deal with Syscon. Max, I don't think, had quite as good of a build as Dragonstar did. Amalius wasn't able to stop Syscon from just going right past him towards his pockets, who should have had a bit more space to work with. Yeah, he certainly did end the game. But yeah, very well done there from Darkside. Suomi gonna need to step it up if they don't want to get bounced here. What? I hit the more content tab, guys. Isn't this fun? It's a tab to say that I already own all the expansions. Hide owned. There we go. Ah, yeah. Too many different logos. Ruben Stock was DQ'd? What happened? Vilasa, the Max, Rubenstock, Amalius, and Juho. But yeah, I haven't seen Rubenstock play yet. My corgi ate your stick people family. Corgis will eat everything, so that checks out. Well, not everything. They do have a special love for peanut butter here. But Insta resigned! Ruben. Ruben, no. Alright, that is the Georgians losing, the Wu losing, and the Japanese losing to the Italians, Bengalis, and Burgundians. So a lot of high draft priority here for Team Darkside. Bit more of a mixed bag for Suomi, but still, it's a best of 5. It's not like its draft priority is going to be that essential. Oops, that's Rage Forest. I can't keep track of all the tournaments going on, man. He said he liked me, but nobody likes me. Feels bad, man. Well, I think there's at least one open map here, right? I mean, yeah, Britain's, I don't know necessarily about Tres Leches, but all the other maps Britain's are very, very good. All right, BF is next, guys, and if Suomi can't take it on BF, they might be struggling. Corgis like getting pets. All right, hold on. Let me read this sorry thing. I'm gonna get coffee, guys. All right. 22 seconds. Failed to download match content, and then I successfully downloaded match content, so who knows. Anyway, the player Rubenstock from Suomi played 5 dummy ladder games, 1-minute games resigned without moving a unit, in an attempt to reach the 5-game requirements for participating in the tournament and being allowed to play Suomi's match today. It is a breach of the Unified Handbook's Fair Play rules and Age of Empires Code of Conduct. After long deliberation, the tournament organization team decided that Rubenstock will not be allowed to further play in the event and has subsequently been removed from Suomi's roster.
Close up.
After long... I mean, people do... They agonize over this sort of thing.
Mandatum?
Probably, I don't care, see ya? Yep. Probably something like that. Change to Rage Forest? Not quite. You notice that we're 2 players short for the proper Rage Forest. The 24-hour game? Yep. Hunt out dash. Thank you. Anyway, Max has lost a villager already, so good start here for Stone, please. Speaking of which, Darkside will compose of Stone, please, in the Cyan once again as the Aztecs this time to the north. Dr. Agenstar will be the green Teutons in the pocket, notably a Pond-free version of BF. And Siscon will be in the blue as the Britons here on the south flank. The reason you have to play 5 ladder games is to make sure that your ladder rating is accurate for seeding purposes. Anyway, Juho will be playing, and he'll be the purple Lithuanians in the south flank. Whoops. I always see Max's pocket, man. I'm not used to this. Max is going to be in the red as the Turks here on the flank, and Villas as the yellow Celts in the pocket. So very, very good Black Forest civs across the board. Notice that you have Teutons paired with the Monk civ with Aztec, so I really like that. You don't want to have to deal with having to go for a Monk rush with your civ, and then you're just running into the Teuton team bonus. That's not a very fun one. But Aztecs not going to do very well against Turks in the long run, especially once those artillery cannons come out. For a long time, it has certainly been a while. Also note that this version of Black Forest, or rather this generation of Black Forest, does have a middle passageway here. You have to be very careful of this lion, though.
Ready.
And more Vil fighting over here. It's a very long sort of tunnel to reach each player, unlike what we see in Rage Forest, which is usually very short. At least between the flanks. But 3v3s have more space than 4v4s do, relative to player size. Which makes sense. And so, we will have Stone Please successfully getting this forward wall in. Overall, Vil counts basically even between the two teams here. Blue's a little bit far behind, but purple and red are kind of in the middle then, and like Cyan has the best opening of any of the flank players, so good start here from Stone Please. More of the map than the West team? Yeah. Neither have an amazing trade route, though. I don't think it should be too impactful. That's fine. What can Aztecs play here? Probably a Monk Rush. Late game, you can add in Jaguar Warriors, Siege Auditors. More Monks as well. You have 10 relics on this map. Aztecs and their teammates going to be very happy about that.
Grayton.
If you can chop to them. Oh, I mean, we very often have relics spawn in the forest. You have gold spawning in the forest here. It's just part of Black Forest. Full light would be scary. It's extremely scary. But how do you get there as a flank player? That's going to be tough for Juho to ever get to. He could also go for a Monk Rush, incidentally, as the Lithuanians. Siscon, though, as Britain's going to be very good at just hanging back, getting those archer numbers going, and then becoming impossible to push. Where we have Dragonstar and Stonefleece likely going for some sort of tag team on the other side. Especially if Dragonstar is going aggressive with monks. I think that could be probably how this is set up. As for what Teutons are going to do here, probably Infantry Siege. There is the Paladin option, though, as well. Of course, there's just that little bit of flexibility for Teutons. Probably Infantry Siege, though. Celts, obviously Infantry Siege. They are probably the best at it. Look at all these layers of walls already. And then we'll have to see how aggressive Max is going to go. Is it going to be for a very quick castle drop, or is it going to be for a fast Imperial Age? Is he going to try and boom it out? Black Forest is indeed the Teutons' home map, and they have always been very good on it. Although ironically overshown by Celts in the past. But Teutons have gotten a lot of buffs over time, so I don't think they're quite as good as Celts, but they're almost as good. I also find it funny that despite all of the power creep that's been introduced to AoE 2, the best Black Forest civs are by and large old civs. Britons, Turks, Mongols, Celts, Teutons, Koreans, Saracens. Indeed, Lithuanians have their armor punching abilities in part as a way of having them good against Teutons. Because he doesn't have the 8. Yeah, I think that the reason that you have force the players to play ladder games is so that you can properly seed them. You liked my lecture? Well, I'm glad you did. People seem to like it who actually listen to the lecture. Alright, we have some eco upgrades coming in, and a tower here from Siscon.
Yay.
Kind of a midway wall between the two, just slightly closer to the base here of Juho, but he'll have some time to react. I say he'll have some time to react, but he does actually need to react. He's almost a feudal age himself, and he'll be pretty darn close to castle age resources already. Meanwhile, this is happening on the other side, so nothing going to be terribly impactful in the short run. Although it's interesting that we're having the stone walls here from Cyan. Maybe these guys are going to be interested in pushing through the middle towards Vilesa. Yeah, no, like, so the people who got past the thumbnail seem to enjoy it. Anyway, Market and Blacksmith coming in. I mean, I don't love this. I mean, you're just sort of blocking yourself off from teammates later on, but whatever. Want to make sure you're safe, I guess. Going Fimp? I don't think so. No, I think he's going to play much more aggressive than that. Too many vills on stone, going up too fast for a fast imp. But yeah, I mean, Juho really not too bothered, honestly. Just walling himself in, probably going to get his boom on. 4 vills on gold is enough to defend with, but you're not likely going to be going Monk Siege. And, oh, now that's how you AoE 2, guys. If you're wondering what the appropriate way to play Age of Empires 2 is, it is exactly this. 4 TCs all within one screen. Honestly, just a bit of a better build from green. Well, I mean, I guess yellow was walling. Whereas we had Dragonstar not forced to wall whatsoever, so he could have the most efficient boom possible. And indeed, it will be Stoneplease who's going to be pushing through the middle of the map, as I suspected. AV2 is a city builder? Oh my, yes. So, the boom here of Dragonstar is going to be very, very good. Got a barracks as well. And how well can Villosa defend? He's got this hill, and this hill is going to be critical to get at least a siege workshop up on. There we go. This hill. If not a castle later. Anyway, extra TCs here from purple. Castle indeed coming forward from the max, but this is where he just added all those stone walls. And Stoneplease, not all in by any stretch. He is adding in extra TCs. Discon, meanwhile, going to be going for his own castle drop. Going to be trying to apply pressure to Juho. And I'm not sure if anything tipped them off. I think all of the walls over here tipped off Suomi that they're probably going to be pushing through the middle of the map. Which is, of course, indeed the case, so good instincts right there. Still, Siscon does feel a bit far behind. Juho's already comfortably working off of 3 town centers.
Ready.
Now, you do have this forward position, which is essential for the castle drop. There we go. Wait, oh, was this wall not in time? Uh-oh. Oh, that isn't good. And now Villosa is forced to flee. He's going to try and rush up the siege workshop, but I feel like they had to have deleted the wall or something. Oh, this was so foolish. They did delete the wall. Oh, it doesn't matter trying to attack the frickin' palisades like that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Pikemen are here. Fortified walls coming in. Janissaries will have to go down this way to delete the wall there. Yeah, that is some uncharacteristically poor judgment from Suomi. And now Villosa is under attack. Now, Villosa isn't in the worst spot to defend ever. He is also working towards a castle, but it's just the efficiency that Dragonstar's boom is going to have in comparison is wild. Dragonstar's already 12 vills ahead. He's going to be on 5 TCs, and he has had to do nothing this game in interacting with the enemy players. He's not really having to gather much stone. It's all focused on furthering his economy. Meanwhile, the castle's in over here, and longbowman production has started. Redemption coming in, and that's going to make this whole situation so much more annoying for Villosa, who's even housed on top of it. And this is not looking too good for Suomi. Max, meanwhile, not going for a fast imp follow-up. Went for the Janissaries, of course, but is then going to be going over and adding an economy. Lightcab being a bit annoying as the pikemen are out of position. Doing what you can, and that's going to be good hits there from Villosa. Oh, nice micro on the other side from Dragonstar, though. I lied when I said he didn't have to interact with the enemy team. Still here and still being useful. Does end up killing the Mangonel. Does get... Okay, I was like, that would be really unlucky for Stoneplease if he didn't get a single conversion. You think Paladin? You could be right. I wouldn't hate it. You've already established a breach in the choke point here. Might be able to flood in. But if you're falling back, maybe not so much. But you could certainly justify Paladin for sure. Extra TCs coming in here from Vilissa, but we're already looking at around 25 more villagers for Dragonstar. He's going to be faster up to the Imperial Age as well. Ahead in Rams, Teutonic Knights are very good against Celts in general. You have to be careful of the Scorpions, but that's what your own Onagers and Bombard Cannons are for.
Indeed.
Defensive castle here for Juho. He has a big Vil lead over Blue. We're also going to click up soon. The Janissaries at least are holding the line for now. Netflix, when you have me, I don't know, you can't really stream Arcane on me though. And I think you can only watch Hunter x Hunter on Netflix as well. For some reason, it's not on Crunchyroll. Also, One Piece live action is going to be coming back soon. Oh, you bet. It is probably my favorite anime of all time. Now, do I wish that this castle was on a hill? Yes, I do. I guess you do get a little bit of that hill bonus, but yeah. Whatever. More Vils coming forth, and indeed it will be the Paladin play. You have the flexibility, as I said, with Teutons to go for either heavy cavalry or infantry siege, but I think given the circumstances where you're already with this good launch pad to get into the enemy base, you have the momentum on the map, just freaking go for it. Yeah, no, it was a good call on the Paladins. I think it makes sense in this situation. I mean, yellow is on his way to, but look at the Vil difference. 126 to 88 villagers. That is wild. Cavalier and plate barding armor coming in. We will need to see Vilissa get to some halbs very soon. Never quit. The Max only plays team game events. Is returning to Crunchyroll? Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know why it was. I wanted to go do a rewatch like half a year ago, and it was only on Netflix and not Crunchyroll. Thankfully, Netflix and Crunchyroll are the only ones I pay for. Technically, my parents actually pay for that. Now that I think about it. Not that I don't pay for my own stuff. It's just it's all connected to our like TV account thing, which my parents pay for. Oh dear. Although to be fair, we never go to the movies, so it's basically our entertainment budget. Alright, Onager coming in as well. Castle time from Vilissa. You need the halbs, though, and I just don't see them. Now, will the Lechai be very good against the Teutonic Paladins? Yes. But it's going to be a numbers situation, as the economy for green is simply so much better. An anime for the rest of it? I would love that if that was the case. But yeah, I think Togashi's health is maybe getting a little bit better. Oh yeah, how was the Odyssey? I've heard it was very good. Because I don't have enough Zendaya and Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson in my life. Seriously, it feels like those actors are in literally everything. Alright, Paladin's on the way. Eco overall, fairly even between the two teams. But it's going to be about withstanding this early tide from Darkside. Which got grandfathered in. Haha, that's funny. Oh, but look at this. The old bait and switch. One might even call it a masterful bait and switch. Heavy Scorpion and Pikemen are coming in, but... Dodge! Annoyed stare to angry stare to bored stare. I mean, she seems like a cool person, so I'm not, like, gonna hate on her, but I just don't know why she is, like, basically the queen of Gen Z. People love him? Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not one of those people that just gets angry over actors doing whatever. Especially if they're not bad people. Anyway, Leichai slowly climbing in number. Elite is on its way, but how do you withstand this? The Teutonic Paladins coming on in. The Onager Cut doing what it needs to. She mostly stared. Well, wasn't she Athena? She just has to give cryptic nonsense and then peace out. Yeah, so, you know, Steven Seagal is someone who's completely okay to make fun of. And hate on. Well, this is probably not something you can deal with. Suomi have a score lead right now, which is pretty crazy, but I don't know, guys. Got Werewolf coming in. Running compilations? Oh, no. I mean, how on earth is... I mean, Max is doing what he can, right? The walls here are clutch. It's giving him a little bit of breathing room. He could at least evacuate a fair amount of his villagers. He's still on around 100, which, again, isn't bad. Bombard Tower also coming in. Halb numbers are slowly climbing as well. Yellow re-walling, and there aren't any onagers left. So this is going to be buying Suomi some critical time. He might get impaled. There is maybe an overmine right there, but yeah, regardless, Max is staying alive, which is the first step to winning a game. Paladins have broken their way back through due to that hole, though, which has obviously been unfortunate. Elite Longbowmen coming in. Of course, this is the downside of Britons, is that they're so freaking slow. Only 2 castles as well with which to produce the Leichai. I think he's also going to try and add in some Elite Skirmishers to help deal with Britons, but if you're at a point in the Black Forest game where you're stuck going Elite Skirmishers, it's probably not very good. Halbs are out over here. That's not going to be a good fight for the Halbs. There are like double the amount of Paladins to Halberdiers. After here from Stonefleas, demolishing more infrastructure of the Max. Yeah, this cut through completely caught off Suomi. Leichai coming in as well. They're not quite fully upgraded and fully relic. There's only 2 relics actually in here for purple at the moment. Still, Leichai are very good, don't get me wrong. But it just isn't enough. That is some major patrol stack nonsense, but it is going so well for Dragonstar. Oh my goodness. Guys, I don't think they know about Second Breakfast. I thought he was like 30. Tim Belgium. Like 34? Ah, okay. I mean, again, you're surviving as Max. You're not really getting to anything, though. He's going to try and mix in some camels. Elite Jaguar Warriors in. I could be an actor. I could not be an actor. I have absolutely no capacity to act at all. Mosquitoes? I have a very bad relationship with the mosquitoes. It's a very toxic relationship. They love me and I hate them. Anyway, look at this. The Jags and the Paladins are just going to torch the castle. Garland Wars coming in. And as I do not think Suomi are likely going to be able to withstand this. Here at the south, the Longbowmen have broken through as well. And GG is called, and Suomi on the verge of getting swept.
Aimed it.
Oh, dear. Deary, deary, dear. I mean, they are completely getting outplayed by Darkside. Yeah, Villas's falling very far behind his counterpart. The Max, I mean, he survived, but he couldn't really develop a good enough army to keep back the tide of Cyan. It's rough. And then purple was ahead of blue. It's just, it's not enough there to challenge your opponent. Anyway, that is Teutons and Aztecs and Britons winning over Lithuanians and Celts and Turks. That is BF in the books. It is not a play all three. It is a best of 5. Rage Forest is a play all 3. They chose civs. Oh, on the lecture. I thought you were talking about in this draft. I'm like, I don't know. I thought all the civs have made sense so far. But yes. All right, Team Acropolis will be next. Here to recommend an interesting book about the Middle Ages. An AoE coffee mug? No, this one is an Arts Tavern coffee mug in from Glen Arbor, Michigan. I do have an AoE coffee mug, though. I think I even used it yesterday. But let's see, Middle Ages history book. Like, what part of the world are you looking at? Black horses for the king. Yeah, I'm not... Man, I feel like I'm so far removed from my academic days, so maybe this will help if I get back into grad school. Yeah, I'm sure you guys could recommend better ones than I could. Or is Suomi an outlier? It's mostly Suomi being, you know, washed. I mean, you could argue that team play is overall much lower, but also AoE is very snowball-y these days in most team games, so it's a tricky situation all around. Yeah, I can't think of many books I've read that were specifically medieval focused. I mean, most of my studies were either broader in scope, where it's like, okay, here's the whole history of this specific area, or more modern focused, as that's more relevant to modern international politics. Hello, Mr. Goat Stroker. Killing 20 minutes between games? Yeah, except, it's more like I'm bored and, just browsing my phone. Need him for Finland? He's done so. He's banned. He was sentenced to the Shadow Realm by Siesta. What are they missing? I mean, their coordination and overall mechanical ability is just not quite as high as it used to be because they're not full-time. Anyway, Team Acropolis will be next. See if Suomi can make their great final stand. Rubenstock was banned because he was resigning. He resigned games within 1 minute to meet his minimum 5-game obligation. At the French defeats, oh no. Run ads before the game starts? Oh. Well, it's kind of tricky because if I run ads only between games, then I'm not usually running enough ads. And if I just do it automatically, then I just don't have to worry about it. Not happy. I think it's for seeding purposes. They need to play at least 5 games or something like that. So that you have an accurate, rating so that they can seed you properly. I think. $18 seconds. Can't they just use their elo? But if you're not active, then you're not. Their elo doesn't really matter. Alrighty. Here we are, guys. Now, there is another qualifier, after this one, so it's not like Suomi are completely stuck, but if they can't even get past this Darkside here, then I don't think they're qualifying for the main event, but we'll have to see. We are here, and it will be on Team Acropolis. Amalius is going to be in the purple as the Franks on the flank. Max is the yellow Hindustanis in the pocket, and Vilasa is the red Vietnamese on the south flank. Now, positions are all much more relative when it comes to Team Acropolis, as you're all right next to each other. On the flip side, we'll have Sisgon in the blue as the Magyars on the southwest flank. Stone Please is in the green as the Mayans in the pocket. And Dragonstar is the Cyan Huns on the northeast flank. Is a 1900 scrub all of a sudden? Yeah, but like that's the issue is like if you have somebody whose rating has decayed a bunch, and it's like Rubenstock is the rating of a 2K1 player, then his rating is lower than it should be. For Gunpowder Fun Powder? I mean, could be from Hindustanis or... Well, to be fair, it is the Gunpowder team versus the no Gunpowder team. But also, it feels like if you're going to be offering people a 5-digit sum of money, then asking them to play 5 games of AoE is not that much to ask for. That's my thought process, at least. Unless they're part of Team Vitality. Yeah. The days rank themselves. That is not what World's Edge would consider significant competitive integrity. Anyway, interesting Civ placement. I feel like Vietnamese want to go FC Rattans or FC Cav Archers. Does Max go just FC Camels and Amalius go Knight? Or Scouts and the Knights? I feel like Franks and Magyars go Scouts. Huns and Vietnamese kind of go Cav Archers or Rattans. And... well, wait a minute, hold on. It's going to be FC Plumes probably from Stone Plays. Huh, I'm curious. Not around anymore? He's not super active. If they bring in viewer numbers? Well, it's all what Nilly cares about. Considering he's the one who's enforcing all this stuff. And Nilly is generally on the side of maintaining competitive integrity. I mean, has Nilly fudged stuff to favor the most popular players in the past? I mean, yeah, but it's not something that, he does often. Anyway, let's see what the plan is here for these guys. Note that this version of Acropolis doesn't put you in a corner of the map, so you don't really have like a back area to boom to. This is going to make things a bit more aggressive. So Amalius will indeed be going Scouts, as I anticipated. Sisgon also going to be doing that. I think we live in a very weird state right now where it's a semi-competitive scene. So you have some people who want to take things seriously and make it more professional, like make the AoE scene professionalized. You have a lot of people who just do this for fun, basically. Like, say, a Rubenstock, and would much rather take a more casual approach to the scene. But then you actually have the people who are making the most money, you know, the actual big tournament winners who also don't necessarily want things super rigid and professionalized because they get a lot more leeway with certain privileges of being streamers and popular players. Bent the rules? There was inviting Hera to NAC3, even though he said no before. I mean, it's not something I really think of him doing very often. What was that story? Oh, it was just Hera said no before, and then to being invited to NAC, and then he said, nope, never mind, I'll be able to come, and then he was able to come as an extra player after his spot had been filled. It's honestly not, like, the end of the world. It was his own tournament. Anyway, so it is actually Dragonstar going Scouts as well as Syscon going Scouts, so it's like double Scouts plus FC Plumes. Well, and so, yeah, but I mean, again, that's like, I don't think Nilly would have done it if it wasn't for somebody who was popular. And again, that was also many years ago. Back when I was relevant. Anyway, Scouts are here, and uh-oh, this is what you get for not being full-walled, guys. It is that simple. Just one build down so far, but could end up being more. Scout does, you know, good focus there from the Max. Still, you're getting value. Decent value. When was I relevant? I was relevant a long time ago, in the days of yore. Okay, so Villas is opening archers. He's not going FC, and in fact, nobody's going FC here for Suomi. But if nobody's going FC, you shouldn't really be letting your opponent into your base like that because you're all making army. You really have Hindustani Scouts, remember. Very, very good team bonus in this situation. Because I peaked? I don't know if I ever can say that I peaked. Oh, Castle's in. Stone, please. Gonna start his Plumed Archer production, and now the stables are gonna be under threat. Defensive tower on the way, too. Get late. Well, it's not like anyone's going. It's not like the FC is going into adding TCs. It's just Fast Castle Plumed Archers. About Normal Hill? Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really seem like most of the AoE community's doing all that well in terms of streaming these days, so feels like it's a good time to try and get out. An admin loss? Oh, I do vaguely remember that. Can he afford a Mangonel? No, he cannot. He's only just now getting fletching. And right now, Suomi's still in an aggressive spot. Down across the board. I mean, I think probably the smaller content creators are hit the hardest because there's just that very real threshold of when does something become literally not worth doing. The King's Gauntlet did well. The King's Gauntlet did well for Hera, who already does very well, and it did well for the streamers. I don't think there's anybody actually in the AoE community other than Hera who did well from it at all. Yeah, Hera is definitely the highest earning person in the community these days. By, like, a very significant margin. Alright. Big fight here, guys. Is it going to be enough for Suomi? No, it's not. And all those archers of Villasas are going to go down. Because he puts in the effort. So, here's the thing. If you put in... Being able to put in effort is a privilege. I think that there's a misconception that if you put in effort, you'll have success. When really it is a matter of, if you have success, you can put in effort to be more successful. And yes, of course, like, there's a base amount of you know, work you need to start getting successful in the first place, but it's really a matter of being able to get more success with more effort is a luxury. Go richer? Something like that. You deliver good content? Yeah, I'm not saying that Hera is given bad content. But simply to effort to grow the AoE community. I don't know about that. But you can only control the effort? Yeah. I mean, like, you know, even when I was working, you know, hours and hours and hours a week, it's not like I was really having, it's not like I was ever getting success because of it. That viewership is down? I feel like it is. In general. I think it's more a matter of, like, anyone else who's in a position to really, like, push hard and grow the scene, so to say, doesn't have the incentive to do so. A lot more people stream AoE now? Not really. Crossbow Rattan? Yeah, exactly. Due to King's Gauntlet? Yeah, but are those people who are actually streaming Age of Empires? Or is that just people who are staying in there just for the King's Gauntlet and then piecing out again? Like I said, I don't think the King's Gauntlet helped anybody in the Age of Empires community on Twitch, at least, other than Hera. No, Vels are going to be coming forward. Just for a TC, though. They chose not to stream it. I tried to stream it. It just literally wasn't worthwhile. And I think that's the case for everyone else as well, is that's just not worthwhile to try and compete with all that.
아시게 có tiểu nhân xin phụng mệnh điện hạ có nhiều sai bảo có
Every second day or so.
아시게 xin phụng mệnh
But like,
có tiểu nhân gì sai bảo
I don't know. It doesn't really feel like Grubby
điện hạ có gì sai
has
bảo
interacts a bunch with the AoE community, right?
아시게
Bái kiến điện hạ có gì sai bảo?
có tiểu nhân
With his viewers? I don't know.
아시게
And visits Leary's stream? I guess maybe it's just the people that he visits.
아시게 shot it 아시게 shot it
Well, that's not great with those camels.
يونق تبيش
Shade.
Obligation? No, nobody's obligated to watch anyone else. Decent.
Oui.
xin phụng mệnh
Obligated to watch the Wald. The Wold. Definitely not obligated to watch me. Interacting with Grubby? I wasn't given the opportunity to interact with Grubby. I don't know about you.
shot it
But born to. One v 1 months ago? Oh, I don't really. I don't play Arabia at all if I can help it.
shot it 아시게
This place because of T West. I mean, T West is somebody who puts a ton of effort into the into AOE stuff.
shot 아시게
Constantly talking to him. Oh yeah, for sure. See, I tried banning Arabia and want to play Arena, but then I can never play Arena.
Amor mindu bitumba.
Imo. Điên bại.
Hidden Cup ran its course? Yeah. Any Mario games today? I don't think so. Somewhat regularly play. I don't know how much spillover they have to wider AoE. Yeah, again, I have no idea.
Checker.
Again, I've been trying to move out for a while.
Mindu.
Was the biggest tourney ever made?
shot it
Was the last one the most biggest hyped tourney ever? I don't know.
điện hạ có gì sai bảo
Yeah, I have no idea. Affects themselves? I think that's very accurate.
아시게
I think that it's hard to argue that what you're doing is all about growing the Age of Empires community. This is true for literally everybody. if you yourself both profit and increase your relative market share in the process. I don't really consider that to be growing the AoE community. I consider that helping yourself with literally no downside, so that you can also say that you're growing the community beyond that. Need more clan trays always. After like a 3 or 4, yeah, because it was on the other side of T90's Facebook agreement, I believe. Is anyone's priority, and yet that's what is being sold constantly. This team journey. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Well, it's not like Suomi's in an amazing spot, but this is the only game that they've really been in where they're making it to the Imperial Age without being horrendously far behind. So that feels like there's at least some opportunity here.
Shot it.
Mayans on this game? Maybe. IRL gym stream? No. I think that Mayan pocket with the plumed archers versus the camels is obviously not that good right now for the Hindustanis, but you do have camels that are going to be good against the heavy cavalry that the Magyars are making and the cav archers that the Huns are making. Are way overrated within the community. I think they're very good at what they do. I don't think that, in that sense, they're overrated. No, that's not it. If anything, I think TTL is probably the closest thing that comes to, like, actually doing something that just benefits the AoE community. In that it's probably not even worth T90's time to do, but it actually does distribute money and viewership to other people that aren't just, like, the tippy-top players.
Shot it.
Not too sure what these camels are doing. Elite Rattan Archer coming in. It's terrible for viewers. Well, I mean, it's giving some sort of incentive to people. Oh, wait. Why on earth is this the MTC Amalius? What on earth are you doing? Oh, my goodness. Alright, I think he's fine. At least, yeah, he's fine. But, oh, my goodness.
Shot it. Ashike. Tabish. Shot it. Ashike. Shot it. Tabish. Ashike. Tabish. Shot it. Tabish. Ashike. Shot it. Ashike. Shot it. Tabish. Shot it. Tabish. Ashike.
The cookie infinite safe TC? Something like that.
Xin phụng mệnh. Điện hạ có gì sai bảo? Tabish.
Timo.
It's fine here. Yeah, again, this is the only... Actually, they have a big Vil lead now. Wait, hold on. Why did... I guess did the camels kill everything when I was busy not paying attention? That sounds like something I would do. Yeah, Dragonstar... Oh, looks like Dragonstar dropped. Oh, boy. Oh, no. That seems like a problem. Warlords... Is Warlords very hype at all? Reset. It's all about when the drop happens. Professor Doctor. All right, so hopefully if the... Because, like, Dragonstar lost, like, 40 villagers. So hopefully the tournament is... Or hopefully the game is restored before all those villagers were lost. Cry about it? I don't know. Info you dropped there? Oh, is there now? The custom Civ tournament? Yeah, that was pretty fun. Is Hidden Cup? I just don't know if Hidden Cup works as much anymore. Super competitive at the top. Well, the issue is that for Hidden Cup, I think to be most successful, it needs to have very low stakes so that players can have fun with it and try and disguise themselves. The issue is that because Hidden Cup is so popular, it has a huge prize pool, and then the players demand competitive integrity for their tournament because, you know, it's a huge prize pool. And so it's like it's a victim of its own success in that regard. I mean, I enjoy TTL, but I'm also somebody who really you're gonna get some Starbucks gift card. Oh no. It's a different setting that's not used. Well, the reason that Red Bull is hyped is because it is in a freaking castle with a huge amount of money. Like, LAN tournaments themselves are hype. They are inherently exciting, so they don't really need gimmicky settings, whereas online events tend to need something a bit more interesting to make it stand out. Like, I think people enjoyed Brazilian Dynasty, right? And that had, like, no gimmicks in it whatsoever. No, people like KOTD. I honestly think KOTD is more interesting than Warlords. I don't really think Warlords does anything that's terribly interesting, especially for the prize pool it has. Like the in-game hero? No. They all need to be wearing like Riddler outfits where they all have like these, you know, you can't see their face. They all have question marks all over them. Nations Cup is also very, very fun. It's also a nightmare to organize. And Warlords are hybrid maps? Yeah, that's just me. Just like a longboat? That would be fun. They are back in the lobby, by the way. But also, like, I don't know if my opinion on anything in Age of Empires is very relevant anymore. I feel like I'm a relic of a different era at this point. In the Octagon, oh no. Oh no. I mean, like, I'll always have opinions because I'm me. I can't not have an opinion. But I just don't... I feel like I'm not a very good analyst even anymore of what is good for Age of Empires. I'm the monk that tried to grab the relic from T West that freaking got mangonelled because he's a jerk. Populate the AV2 ranks more, yeah. All right. They are back in, and the 2-minute speculate. The big question is, when did the drop happen? Was this before or after Dragonstar lost a gajillion villagers? Type I've seen for AoE? Yeah, but the thing with the Hera tournament is that it felt like I was literally locked out of it, but it felt almost like a celebration of internet personalities as opposed to a celebration of Age of Empires, which is also not my... it's not what does it for me personally, but I know I'm not like a, again, the best at like average Age of Empires fan in that regard. But yeah, literally being locked out of the tournament also, you know, is not going to have it leave a good taste in my mouth. Big streamers to team up with big streamers? Well, yeah. I mean, again, it's the argument that is what is good for the big streamers if they are doing Age of Empires good for Age of Empires as a whole? I mean, it did increase the player base a little bit, I think. So, like, it brought people into playing the game, but it's also, again, just was basically a big circle jerk of the biggest streamers. I think both things are true. Alright, let's see where we're at. Okay, so Dragonstar at least hasn't lost all of his bills yet. This is important. Oh yeah, all these numbers are now going to be off. That's just the nature of restores. A lot of AoE streamers. Big walls coming in here from Stone, please. It just had to be 2K2, I know. Coaching? Yeah, but Phosphor is a subject of getting good content. That's right. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Alright, so Scon's coming in with Paladin. He has a pretty good eco. He's also starting to get trade up and running. I say that, we don't even have markets all the way up over here on the side yet. Now, obviously, if we get to Rattan versus Plume, that's going to be where Suomi's very happy, but the army numbers are still very good right now for Darkside. We need to see the camels come in. Where are the imp camels? Team strats? Again, I don't think phosphoring is in general very good in team games. You need to have a way out, so to say. You don't want to go 10,000% all in unless it's literally like a TC drop sort of thing. Alright, well this is certainly getting some value. Camels are still over here from Max, though, being annoying. You're also in a situation where the Magyar player's making Paladins and the Hun player's making Cav Archers when you kind of want it the other way around.
Shot it.
Yep, Max has all these forward buildings in.
It's actually
It also makes the trade necessarily less efficient. One of his favorite moments. I mean, it's easy for the high-level players to look down on phosphoring because it's like, I mean, it's a cheese, right? It is not only something that is easier to execute than it is to defend, but also requires significantly less AoE2 in-game decision-making understanding because your games are so fast on average. With 3 plus 4. Well, in the short run, that is what's going to work, but I don't think that Team Acropolis is a map that you can easily snowball to a victory, just because it's, you know, it's hard to push uphill. Map is quite large, etc., etc. Now the Imp Camels are coming in, guys, and Suomi's starting to show some signs of life. Got, see, wait, whoa. Hold on. There was like a tab that I saw that... I have never used this before. What the heck? I guess it just shows their resources, but it's a little hard to judge. Yeah, 82 plumes. It's a lot of plumed archers. But... Hello, Gugatti. You do also have Caravanserais that you should add in later on, as they are a big help. Army values are still comparable between the two sides. Siege Ram now coming in here from Dragonstar, but the Imp Camels, of course, running around. Still, Imp Camels are a great defensive unit against those Cav raids. Still, Amalius is stuck making light Cav, and that definitely doesn't feel very good. Yeah, Amalius is absolutely going to die. There's only so much Vilissa and Max can do at that point. But I think the issue is that Amalius just doesn't have the gold right now. He's trying to get trade going, for sure, but it feels like a very tough ask. Ecos are overall very good. It's not like Dragonstar's population's all that great, but you'd rather have the player who's going Cav Archers, Cav Archers make that, on a lower Vil count than the guy making Paladin on 152 Vils, and not enough of which at all are on gold. Yeah, Frank, Light Cav do not feel like a very good way to win this game. That said, Rattan Archers are really, really, really good here because you have 2 dudes making pierce damage units, only 1 dude making melee Cav. So then we get to this situation a lot more often, which is where Vilissa is going to start shredding everything with his Rattan Archers. The Latin American team? I think it is, or is in general. Come on, Max. Give me those Caravanserai! If we say Caravanserai 3 times fast, I think we summon Kellar, so we have to be really careful about talking about what they need to be doing. Anyway, look at this. 74 kills on this Rattan Archer blob. Uh-oh. No! You can't do that! No! We're doomed! Oh, boy. Man. Malleus really struggling for gold. Can his allies not sling him any gold? I mean, he's not really got... Look at this! Only 9,000 gold collected for purple. I just don't think you could win a game like that. Paper money coming in. The Civs are good here for Suomi, but you need Frank Paladins. The full fortified walls are very good as well from Stone, please. Yeah, I mean, again, like, the setup in general, in theory, is very good for Suomi. If you can't get to the Paladins, then you really lack the staying power on the front line that you need. And again, I'm not saying that Amalius is not trying to get to Paladins. He's doing what he can, right? He's spending his gold on trade cards so he can get more gold, and he's just using Light Cav in the meantime. Also, Max needs a market that's closer to that side. Oh, no, never mind. He has the market over there. No, Amalius isn't even close at all, which is the concerning thing. He's got 80 villagers on food for Light Cav spam, but that isn't really what you want right now. No, Suomi are hanging in there. That is what you want in general, but the way that it worked out is that you want fast castle cav archers from Huns, and you want scouts into knights from Magyar. So in terms of the early game transitions, it made more sense. But again, that's just more examples of it is going to be better in the long run for Suomi. That said, those trebuchets are in danger here. How did he click it? Did he get slung? Also, sappers here for Vilasa. No, he's just able to afford it finally. All right, again, can you get there? He's on 171 eco units, which is obviously way too many. Double the army right now for Darkside, but game isn't over yet. Suomi are trying to hang in there with their tournament life on the line. Only one trebuchet and one siege, or sorry, 2 siege rams. But yeah, now we're back up to 33 paladins and counting. Plumed archers only at 44, though. It's honestly not that insane. Rotate those crops, baby. Last furnace. Here we are, guys. Amalius, 21 paladins. Does he have chivalry? Not yet. Obviously, that's going to be an important one. I don't know if this has ever been said before, guys, but I think that Frank Paladins could be the difference maker. I know I'm out here with my hot takes again. So the numbers are still in favor of Darkside, though. Heads, do you want me to keep streaming or not stream? I need to at least be able to pay off my student debts every month. Alright, this is where the Rattans are going to heavily outperform the Plumed Archers, and if the Camels can survive just a little bit longer, thanks to the extra armor and HP of those Paladins, then the Camels are just going to kill the enemy Paladins, and then suddenly you're looking at a much better engagement for Suomi, and you can see the numbers starting to claw back into their favor. Atheism, let's go! Go, Drakenstar! Guard towers? Mayan guard towers. I guess just to protect that gold mine. And this is the question, guys. Has Suomi stalled enough? Purple's been able to get rid of some of his villagers. Yeah, only 16 on wood right now. So Amalius, yes, he was slow to get what he needed to, but he's gotten there eventually. Caravanserai. Axe! Burks. Come on, man. Caravanserai are really, really good. I'm not just memeing, guys. They are actually genuinely very, very good. I mean, still, the army numbers are good. Look, everybody's max pop here on Darkside, or at least close to it. Suomi, also pretty close, but just with far fewer numbers, because you have 155, 166, and 142 villagers, respectively. 77 trade carts right now for the max. Does he at least have Grand Trunk Road? Yes, he does. 2022, yep. But that's not where we're at the moment. Here's the thing, though. It's so essential for Syscon to have Paladins at these fights, because the second that the Paladins are dead, you're running the Hun Cav Archers and the Plumed Archers into Rattan Archers from Vilasa, and then they take a horrible fight. So it's really, really tough. Onager coming in even here for the max. And to be fair, full Imperial Camel spam has worked ever since they added Indians to the game. keep coming in from Mayans. A little bit of a raid here from Amalius as well. In 42 trade cards, 77, 44 trade cards, 38, 67, 15. So Dragonstar's trade card numbers are actually not very good. Although he has a lot of gold anyway. I mean, his army's very cost efficient. Here we are, though. Castle is going to fall. But look at this, the Paladins from Amalius. A little tough to tell because it's the purple and blue Paladins. But, of course, classic color combo right there. About to switch it up. Are they? I don't see it. I don't think they have the time to do so. Anyway, most of the Trebs have fallen. In fact, it's actually Scaleburn and Squires coming in. I have no idea what that combo's for. Siege Rams knocking here from Stone, please. And for being mostly a 1v1 player in the past, Stone Please has done quite well this set. Oh, there's 65 Cav Archers right now, so the Cav Archer blob has not gone anywhere. Okay, Halb's starting to come in as well for green, but that does mean fewer plumed archers overall. The Siege Rams are also very, very good here. And I feel like Suomi they need more population in army. Too many villagers for both Amalius and the Max. Max actually has probably too many trade carts. You can certainly stand to have fewer trade carts if you also build Caravanserais, man. Just saying. And here we are. Now the Paladin switch is coming. Now it's coming. Fire Lancers being mixed in. I don't even think that's going to be all that good. I think there's too much ranged firepower here. Paladin streaming forth in the north from Amalius. Does he have Chivalry? No, he doesn't. He really should. I mean, some vills are going down, but villagers are you know, quite expendable at this point. The Gulams? Gulams I would be more fan of than Fire Lancers, personally. I feel like you have two players who are both making pierce damage units, so Rattan Archers are very powerful. Recurve bow coming in, so they are trying to make that switch into the better Imperial Age army compositions. I mean, both teams are sort of in each other's trade right now. All right. Still a big army. 40 Frank Paladins. Got Architecture coming in. It's now, yeah, trying to switch into Cav Archers is Siscon. Plumes are kind of getting wrecked, though. I mean, yeah, they need more army, for sure. But now Suomi, look at this army lead. 22k to 13k. But is it enough? Are the Paladins sufficient? It's literally a 2v1 fight. Right. Actually, no, it is a 1v1 fight. It's just Paladins and Cav Archers combo. Very, very good. Oh, no, never mind. There are blue Paladins there. That was a good fight. Imp Campbell's coming into raid. I don't really know why we're bothering to have the Imp Campbells do any raiding. A couple Armored Elephants, actually, here. Going after the castle. And it's going to be Elite Battle Elephant coming in, too. A lot of Halbs from Mayans, but that's on the other side of the map. The score switch is very close, and I gotta say, guys, this is where Suomi excels, right? We've gotten to late game. Now it's all about compositional understanding, it's about team coordination, and it's about understanding your map and civ win conditions, and that is all what Suomi has historically been very good at, and no meta change is going to really change that. Although, again, it's still extremely painful not to see any Caravanserais from the Max. Vietnamese Ellies are very chonky. Now this is a game of AoE 2. I love Team Acropolis. I think it's a fantastic map. Get a lot of games like this. Now players are really having to stretch out their tech trees. Castle fires a bajillion arrows with the Cav Archers in them, and here we do have Siscon with his Paladins able to take down the Trebuchets. That buys you time at the very least. Onager in for red as well. And again, both teams are more or less constantly in the other's trade line. Oh, that castle is going to go down. More imp camels coming in, and those paladins are going to get absolutely eaten alive by those Hindustani imp camels. I mean, this game is a great celebration of Age of Empires. Bombard Tower as well for Villessa. Like, this is team games at its finest. All 6 players in this game doing everything they can, all having moments where they're the ones who are shining. But I do think that Suomi is held off long enough. I think their civs are good enough at this point. I mean, we have 62 Magyar Cav archers, but this is actually right where the Rattan archers are going to come back around to be very good. Team games? Absolutely. Which, considering that you know, for the longest time only saw Vietnamese make Cav archers, I think that it's nice to see the Rattan archers again. Max full boom pocket into cavalry, yep. The Battalion. And there's Elite Gulam in for the max, too. And yes, this gun is getting coinage. Dragonstar really struggling for resources. Bloodlines? There are several nerfs to Vietnamese that would be necessary. They're just too well-rounded of a civ at the moment. Bombard Tower is coming in for Villessa, and I think if you had to pick anybody, he would probably be the MVP of this game, as I do think Suomi are really on the warpath and have been pushing back and further and further and further for a while now. But I mean, look at this. Elephants, 420 HP, lol. Rattan archers with full upgrades. This is literally one of the best single civilization comps in Age of Empires, Battle Elephant Rattan Archer. With Bombard Towers. You know, it is up there with Mangudai Siege Onager, Mameluke Siege Onager. You know, it's like, this is Khmer Scorpions plus Battle Elephants. You know, this is, I guess, Korean War Wagons, Fire Lancers, Rocket Carts, I mean, Towers. It's just such an insane death ball. Or literally undo the influence. Yeah, okay, there's Chivalry finally coming in. Bit late, but again, better late than never. Numbers look good for Darkside in terms of the actual fights, but if we just see the value, it is still a lot better here for Team Suomi. I guess only a little bit better at this moment. I think a bunch of expensive units popped out just as I was saying that. Camel's doing a bit of raiding as well. 93 military for Sisgon. Stables coming in forward as well. Get those elephants here fast. Obviously, they are slow. They need close reinforcement points. Max and Vill. I mean, again, this is where they're really going to start to be playing well. Villas's push here just seems almost inexorable. This push on the side, Amalius slowly but steadily whittling down Dragonstar. Dragonstar is just completely occupied over here. Sisgon trying to do some more raids. Overall best civ? Yes. If you had to pick one civ to play in every single competitive setting of Age of Empires, like you could only pick one civ and you'd have to play them in every setting, I think you would pick Vietnamese. Dragonstar still trying to stall as best he can, but the villager count, this just doesn't really feel sustainable for Darkside. It's only halves right now for Stone, please. That doesn't feel sufficient. You also have the Elite Gulams here as well, which will do very well against halves. It was Byzantines? I don't think it was ever Byzantines as like the best civ in all situations. Byzantines are just kind of like good, but not like top tier everywhere. The beauty of the civ. But yeah, Vietnamese just got like a gajillion buffs over the years, and GG is called, and I mean, that's AoE right there. That is what we have as our beautiful game. It was tough. It was difficult there for Suomi. They were able to hang in there, just barely able to get to those Frank Paladins, which were the necessary thing to kickstart their push. Max everywhere with those imp camels. No, of course, Max never had the caravanserai because he wants to make me cry myself to sleep at night. But yeah, now that is a game of Age of Empires. Unfortunately, these stats are all going to be kind of messed up because of the drop. It was definitely over. Suomi, not dead yet. But we have Tres Leches and Menindee as our potential remaining maps. It is Hindustanis and Franks and... where are Vietnamese? That they are. Over the Magyars and the Huns and the Mayans. It's so weird. It's a World Desert Championship map. It's a little bit weird. That's how it works. Yeah, Portuguese feel a little bit more specialized than Vietnamese, but also up there. I mean, just being too good overall. Weird is good. I like Menindee, but also I'm biased because it was in my tournament. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. Hello. Hello. All right, Tres Leches. Portuguese, certainly. Tadars, maybe? It needs being controversial? There we go. Heartplay? I have no idea. Did I get any more YouTube comments? Only 9 teams in the main event. I think it's actually important to have not that many teams in the main event because team games have a heavily diluted prize pool. How did I get the lecture? I was asked to do it. Oh, so many very kind comments. Log in. Yep. All right. Like we have started. All right, guys, here we are. Suomi's still on the ropes, but they ain't done yet. Sicily under Italians, they're very different. I think I didn't have that much time to talk about every civ in depth, so I had to jump through a lot of it because, you know, I'm not here to bore the students for 3 hours. But yeah, I think that most people would say that one civilization representing the northern Italian city-states and one civilization representing the more, I guess, kingdoms, empires, agrarian, southern Italy would make sense. But the in-game Sicilians are mostly just based off of the Normans anyway, so it's a little weird.
Salve.
Prontos.
Anyway, Dravidians for Amalius here on the flank, Ethiopians for Vilasa in the pocket, but the pocket's the forward position, and Romans for the Max on the other side, so pretty darn aggressive set of civs here. Meanwhile, Stonefleece is going to be the Green Khmer on the pocket, flankish. Dragonstar is going to be the Cyan Urchins on the flank, and Tadar's here for Siskun on the other side. So we really aren't seeing a ton of naval civs. Really the only one being Dravidians from Amalius. Oops, that's not the right button. That's not the right button. There we go. So, of course, we got docks up for everybody. Even in the middle of the map, there are these dolphins, so it's still worth boating. Well, actually, hold on. Vilasa didn't dock. There's the mining camp coming in, so he's just going to be playing aggressive here with some archers from Ethiopians. can see that Villas is already falling behind a little bit in the villager count, but he is going to be going very aggressive, so he has to get a lot of damage done. Dolphin sound? I mean, that's actually just what dolphins sound like. I don't know if it's the exact same sound file. Alright, Loom coming in, and here you are. Vilasa is on his way up. Team games? Oh, this is a modern classic team game map, but this is interesting. They did change it. There is no hill in the middle. No water hill. So it is flatter. Also, there are no ghost trade carts that you start with, so a lot of the more gimmicky aspects of the map have been removed.
Emriniz.
Hazır.
So now it's just more of a regular hybrid map. I wonder if Tataros were picked because they thought the hills were still there. No idea. Anyway, let's see. Tutelage is in. And there's one archery range, and where's the other? Ooh, can't quite afford it. Little off on the timing. I must break you. Oh, no. Oh, wait. What on earth is Max doing, guys? There is no world in which the Max is going FC Centurions. I refuse to accept this reality. I'm sorry, chat. I simply refuse. Meanwhile, Dragonstar is just going to be going for some scouts by the looks of things. Stoneplease himself is going to be going archers, and Siscon is going to be going scouts. So nobody actually is really going water. And just some scouts running around, but yeah, nobody going for Navy. I guess the naval rush distance is pretty long. But the onus is still going to be on Velessa to do something aggressive here because obviously he doesn't have any fishing eco. Oh, scout cavalry here. Yeah, the Roman version of the Phosphorus is with scorpions. But again, why would you be doing that from all the way over here in the corner of the map anyway? Okay, you got some Hulks coming out. Ecco. Salve. Is Amalia's going straight to Ellie archers even? Huh. I'm not sure. Alright, well, at the moment, Villas is just defending, as both of his pockets went to FC. But I feel like it's going to be a big issue when it comes to eco over time. Guys, if Max wins this game with FC Centurions, I don't even know what I'll say. How is one supposed to respond to that? Well, Vilesa is defending, but like I said, he just is going to keep on falling behind in eco. Also, 7 fishing ships now for Siscon. He's on 2 docks. Medium warships is immediately on the way, so at least he's going to fight back water. But he's going to need to win it, and win it pretty soon. Best play of the Centurion. Alright, here we go. Ooh, house. Stonewall rushed up there. That'll be fine here for the max in the short run, and that's all that he needs. Careful maybe of those 2 villagers, but yeah, castle's gonna go up. And here we are, medium warships is in, the Warhulks are here, and now the fishing ships of Darkside are under even more stress. Now, Max himself can't afford medium warships, because obviously he's busy dealing with all this stuff. Vilesa is here to help out his ally, and you betcha! Oh, you betcha! These are some very, very expensive knight equivalents. Still, overall, Vil lead his here for Darkside. Oh, and now Vilesa finally taking some damage here. Oh, this is awkward. Again, just no fishing ships for him. Feels like it's going to be a real problem. Teutonic monks, but there aren't any Teutons in this game. They were already played on Black Forest. All right, we have range number 3 coming in for Stonefleas, and obviously Khmer aren't really going to scale super well with their archers, especially relative to Ethiopians. But you're up to the castle age a lot faster anyway, so you can still leverage that big timing advantage. Max still has some bills on stone, so it's likely he's going to want to add eco, so he's not completely all in. Oh, now still you have more units over here from Darkside. Second TC coming in from Red. See, 3 Vil kills from each of the players actually on Darkside. And Red not really able to get the fishing ships destroyed. Now CA are going to be on the way, so following that up. Nice kill there. I'm still really perplexed as to how this is possibly going to work out. Teutons? Yeah, maybe you do need glasses. Well, you're going after the dock there, but docks are good against these hulks. You're applying some pressure right now. I mean, I guess you're not taking much damage from the archers. Feels so weird. Second TC's in here for purple. Castle coming in from Dr. Agenstar. I thought he would just be going Step Lancers. Oh. I mean, the Iron Pagodas should be pretty good against the Centurions. Ignoring that melee attack. I think Centurions only have a reload time of 2, which is a little bit slower than most cav units. Nope, 1.9, my bad. Tier? Oh, that doesn't sound good. All right, second TC coming in over there. University for green. But it's not like Stonefleas is really going to be with that many archers over time. Still, Villas' eco is a huge mess. The hulks there are going to get shooed away. Still 7 fishing ships for red. Still the 2 TCs. Now we only have range number 2 coming in. I was thinking he'd just be going straight to elephant archers, but I guess he doesn't think he can get there. Like, that eco's been denied as well. Overall, Vil numbers are even between the 2 sides, and Vilesa is in Castle Age. Score is a lot higher, though, here for our Darkside team. Crossbow Bodkin on the way here for Vilesa. Like I said, you get a big advantage when it comes to archer quality as Ethiopians versus Khmer. The 42 to 38 villagers and a much cleaner economy for Stonefleas. Second TC at the back for Siscon. His own cav archer numbers are steadily climbing, and they're over here being very annoying. Well, I mean, the fishing ships are still doing quite well for red. Not like blue's doing a whole lot on water. Red's actually chasing down some crossbowmen, but crossbowmen are very good against hulks because that makes sense. Now the Centurions are crossing the map. Iron Pagodas, though, have better upgrades. They already have Bloodlines, Husbandry, and +1/+1, whereas the Centurions only have +1 defense right now. Remember, those Iron Pagodas do get to ignore the first attack. No ballistics. Oh, no ballistics in just as ballistics comes in. Doc's there to help out a little bit, but it's 2v3 right now, and it's not like there are amazing numbers of Centurions. Such a weird game already. 5 eco kills there on those Cav Archers. Second TC over here, third TC over here. Blue's already on the 3 TCs. This eco will be climbing across the board for Darkside in the near future, although right now it is doing well for Suomi. Ow. Yeah, this is not going to be good enough. Max just doesn't have the numbers, and he doesn't have the upgrades. Scout's still trying to hoover around. There's ballistics coming in for red, but you got 2 guys going archers. And those Cav Archers are going to scale very well for Tadars, and on top of that, that extra mobility on a map like this feels really helpful. A lot of fishing ships, though, from red, and that is not something to be taken lightly. Cav Archers and Centurions just dancing around over here. Looks like some fish traps were sniped. Third TC there at the back. Suomi still with a bit of an eco lead, though. Go get him, Komodo Dragon. Go get him. Yeah. Go get him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, but look at this, guys. Look at this. I just don't love this from Amalius. Hmm? Yeah, that was a little weird. Anyway, all of the ranged unit making players do have ballistics except Yellow, who also only has double bit axe, so not very good eco upgrades for Vilasa. His score is actually really low. He's only lost 4 Vils. Res collected. Oh my goodness, they're really bad for him. Difference between villager numbers and villager work rate. As Vilasa spent a lot of time with idle villagers, you can see that 3,000 more resources for stone, please. And it's now actually going to be skirmishers from green, which honestly makes sense. Oh, no. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Darkside also now have taken the eco lead, and they are looking very good here in this potential last game for Suomi. Bloodlines just now coming in. Iron Pagodas are here doing a lot of work. And, I mean, Dragonstar hasn't even been touched. He's just sitting in his corner of the map without a care in the world. And with all those fishing ships, you'd think that Red would be going Elephant Archers, man. Yeah. No thumb ring, but Ethiopian Archers are very good. University there is denied. The TC still denied. You're still stuck with a bunch of idle villagers. Yellow on 48 villagers right now. It's just not good enough, I think. And I guess this is also a team wall. So, good stuff there. More ranges coming in here from blue. Suomi are going to be falling further and further behind. It just seems like they're not quite good enough in the early game. If you have to choose between being a good early game player and a good late game player, always choose to be the good early game player. As every game goes to early game, whereas not every game goes late game. I mean, you are getting more upgrades in now for your Centurions, and they have very impressive stats, but Yeah, it's getting really ugly. Blue and Cyan now both on the way to Imperial Age. Hamster. Yeah, you're not going to win a game of AoE on most maps if you're not able to hamster properly. Red's also only on 2 TCs, even with 23 fishing ships. Meh. Meh. Everybody on the way up to Imp. Double forward siege workshop from green. They're also just struggling so much here. Yamanji. Some RM team games. I mean, they play a decent amount of RM team games, but I just don't think they really play this, you know, very aggressive style. I mean, the one game they were able to survive early on was when they had everybody go more aggressive than Darkside. I guess game number 1, you had Max go Feudal Age and Dragonstar go Fast Castle, but that was kind of different. Better preparation for the maps for sure here from Darkside. I mean, they clearly put more time into this. Mollius is hitting Imperial Age and losing all of his archers. Game is looking very over. Elite Iron Pagoda coming in now. There's the GG. Suomi is out. The team that you would expect to be at least a favorite to go deep in every single tournament. Getting knocked out in the second round of the qualifiers. What counters Iron Pagoda? Anything that counters Heavy Cav. It's just a good all-around Heavy Cav. It's basically your Knight replacement. The qualifying match? No, this is, I think, the match before the qualifying match. Let me double check. Yep. This was the match before the qualifying match. Ooh. Look at this, guys. Let me just double check to make sure this is accurate. Yep. Here. Winning game number 1. We will have Anchor, ANKR. We'll have blue in the red, classic, as the Jurchens on the flank. They're Barbatakans. Yellow is going to be the Berbers in the pocket. And Ryutaku is going to be the purple Malay on the west flank. They're a Taiwanese team. Or at least blue's Taiwanese. I don't know about the other players. Oh, I think Yukgit is the Chinese player. No, it's actually 2 Taiwanese players, 2 Chinese players, and 1 Turkish player. think yellow is Yukget. Cyclops? No, Navy with 2 V's. All right, so Dogao going to be the blue Armenians here on the east flank for Onimaru Barbatakos, Miguel the Green Huns in the pocket, and Kingstone the Cyan Wu on the west flank. I don't know, guys. And KR are ahead in early eco. Man-at-Arm is about to be in. Alright, got a Hulk and a Fire Galley from Kingstone. Ryutaku's still making fishing ships, which does feel quite greedy. Also going to be walling himself in. You can see that Kingstone isn't even bothering to do that because he should be relying on his ally Dogao to do all of that for him. It's surprisingly good. Yeah, I just missed some fast fire ship. Oh yeah, you also have the new text as well. I don't remember which text they have, the new ones. I think they have all of them. Maybe they're missing one of the fire ship ones. I don't know. I mean, again, more egg bases coming in here from Anchor. Dogao's already got his own archery range behind this. Stable forward for Miguel. It's almost like these guys practice with Suomi, because this feels like a very similar build. That said, Miguel did lose a villager right there. And Yukget is going to be going for a fast castle. He only has forward docks, though. So this is much more akin to what Dragonstar did. Now, Berbers, probably not quite as good as Burgundians in terms of snowballing a greedier opening. But if you can get to FC and just go for cheap Berber Knights, that's not likely going to be a bad thing. And I am quite sure that is what they have signed up as. Double stable, actually, even here for Miguel. He's on 11 fishing ships and counting, so we're really going to try and stretch that early eco. Fire Galley's out here now from Kingstone, trying to apply pressure to the enemy dock. And this is where the question is, did Ryutaku play a little too greedy in adding in those extra fishing ships? It is 6 fishing ships to 4. And I know he queued up fishing ships after he hit Feudal Age, so you have Kingstone here with his 3 docks, able to apply plenty of early pressure to the enemy pocket. Trap for sure? I don't think so. If this was full balled, then yes, but that is not the case. Anyway, Blue is here with his own scout opening, but you'd think then he would struggle to keep up in army numbers, as indeed Onimaru Barbatakos is ahead by a lot in terms of army. The relic covered... it's a whale. It is a fish that provides gold.
Actually, Ornlu, whales are mammals and not fish whatsoever. They need to breathe. That's why they have the blowholes.
Yeah. In the purposes of AoE 2, they're fish. Well, Purple getting at least something of a navy going. And he does have a big eco lead over Kingstone. And actually, is Ryutaku about to click up to Castle Age? So if he is able to survive, he is going to be in a great spot. No one talks like that? All of you talk like that. In my mind, that is... all of you sound like a deranged Kermit the Frog. Especially the hecklers. Oh, gotta be careful there, but you're almost to Castle Age. There's a stable very oddly placed at the back, but that might be enough here for Yukget. Imagine if an Onimaru team flamed out in the first round. Mrs. Piggy? Are you as much of a queen as Miss Piggy is? All right. Hey, why is Purple... oh, Purple's missing the buildings. Uh-oh. Oh, this was almost really good, but you need to have the buildings. And to be fair, guys, Dogao's here with his men-at-arms, and it feels like if you're the flank, you need to prevent stuff like this happening. But It looks like Blue is going to be making up for that as he is now cleaning up all of those reinforcements with his scout cavalry. He made himself annoying enough to attack with this little bit of an egg base. Gotta give Blue a lot of credit for that. He's now adding in more fishing ships. Onimaru BBT do have an overall Vil lead, though. Both Miguel and Dogao are on their way up to Castle Age. Purple should have been there up a long time ago, but just not with the necessary eco balance or buildings. Third TC coming in for Yukit. Gonna be going for his Berber Knights and Camels, I guess. 23 fishing ships for Miguel, though. He's on 60 eco units. Now, if Ryutaku was in Castle Age, as he should have been, honestly, by now, he still can't click up despite having easily the resources to do so for a long time. Oh, no. Everybody on their way up to the Castle Age right now here for Team Onimaru. I mean, it's not like Anchor have no fishing ships, but just not comparable to Green and even Blue very shortly. Oh dear, that is going to be a very good fight for Kingstone. Something, something, if there are 10,000 Kingstoners, I am one of them. Nerfox had me go through all of my commands and clean up a bunch of the ones we don't need or use anymore, but I decided to leave the Kingstoner command. Oh no, I mean, Ryutaku literally could have clicked up 4 or 5 minutes ago. It's wild. It was almost a great build, but you need to have your buildings, man. You're not Kaver. All right, Knight coming in here from yellow. And the villager count is very good for Yukit compared to Miguel. It's just Miguel has so many fishing ships that Miguel has a huge lead. And now Crossbowman in for Dogao. The Queenstoners? Is that the Queen's Gambit? Is the Queenstoners? Yeah, Ryutaku's literally got nothing left on the water. Miguel grabbing gill nets. I mean, his fishing eco is really good. Is anyone able to make a play for water at this point? I don't even know. Only 2 villager kills to 20 villager deaths for Anchor, so I don't know what happened in the first game, but Onimaru Barber Tacos are looking a lot better in this game, number 2. Yeah, I mean, this is tough for Blue to defend. Knights have good upgrades here for Miguel. Knights for yellow, not quite as good upgrades. And also fishing ships are going down over here to Kingstone, who is top scorer in this game. Thanks to the water control. 39 kills to 11 deaths. Yeah, that'll give you top score. Yeah, I mean, those scouts obviously not doing a whole lot from Blue. He's only just now hitting Castle Age. I have no idea what Ryutaku's doing. I guess he's trying to add in some more Navy, but... Ugh. Kingstone was able to add in an extra round of fishing ships, which is super helpful. More stables here for Yukit. But, I mean, that population chart is not going to be getting any better anytime soon here for Anchor. Good upgrades there. It's, you do need to remember Husbandry, Miguel, for sure. It's a very good upgrade. Don't think I need to explain why. But yeah, this is classic Miguel and Dogao together, making stuff happen. Looks like yellow's completely off of water. Now 10 Vils behind green. When Miguel is just those 28 fishing ships, man. Also mixing in the fish traps, so it's not as inefficient. I mean, again, but Miguel Dogao Kingstone lost game number 1, which I was very surprised by. And I think that if Ryutaku was able to get up to Castle Age as soon as he had the resources to go up and, you know, had the buildings, I feel like it would have been completely flipped on the water, and I think he would have had a very good shot at fighting back against Kingstone, and I think the game looks a lot different. But obviously that's just not how the game played out. We were casting the other series, so we didn't see game number 1. But it was like a 45-minute game, so it wasn't like a super fast bop. I mean, the game might have snowballed out of control early on, but in terms of at least as long as it lasted, it was decent. Knight upgrades are equal between the Berbers and the Huns, and I mean, the macro from Ukit is quite solid. And this should be pretty good damage. Kingstone wasn't really recognizing the Navy over here, or rather the redocking attempt, until perhaps it was a little bit too late. And this is going to give a little bit of an opportunity here to start sinking some fishing ships, although Miguel is able to go for his own Navy at this point. He has a good enough of an economy to do that. There's bold of you to assume that there are people in this chat. Bold, italicized, and underlined. Anyway, castle coming in. There is a rocket cart. Chatbots? Something like that. Well, I mean, good attempt here. That is a doubt castle. No way Anchor's pushing this one back, right? I mean, Red's on 40 villagers to Dogau's 81. 18 knights to 9. Dogao clicks up to Imp. With a good Imperial time, could Dogao solo this? I mean, it's not like the Armenian Arbalests are all that exciting, but I guess you can't really switch into Composite Bowman either. But still, like, Arbs with Bracer, Chemistry, all that stuff is probably enough here. Cyan's still ahead of Purple, so that's not really an issue. You also have free careening, which is always nice as the woo. Miguel lost some of his fish, but still has a good number left. Yep. Gonna rebuild the castle there. Still around 50 more villagers in total, or eco units, I guess. Again, 11, 17, 17 fishing ships versus 0. Basically, the entire eco unit difference between the two teams is fishing ships. With the purple rain. Prince never leaves us, guys. Adejenderin Tagabor. Do have to be careful. Again, rocket carts are better than mangonels against knights because they ignore the armor. Unless you could have magically sniped the MTC, I don't think this really matters too much. Oh, the MTC was over there anyway, so I mean, yeah, it's not really gonna matter, I think, all that much in the grand scheme of things. Oh, hey, look, a castle being dropped over here. That's always something that you need to keep an eye out for. Yep. Again, I really want to have to wonder, I guess, how different this game would be if we saw Purple able to click up the Castle Age when you wanted to. I feel like the game would look a lot different. But now Kingstone can start to fire archer it up and continue to apply a lot of pressure. Anyway, I imagine you're just going to want to go Arbalests and then switch into Composite Bowmen over time. Bowmen are quite solid as a support unit. Especially with a lot of knights on the field. But yeah, I mean, Anchor, not great. Not great build count. How close is Kingstone to click it up? Not terribly far. Actually, Yukit's not that far away from clicking up. I mean, Yukit trying to do what he can, for sure. I mean, Jurchens do have good defenses, for sure. But with Bracer in, those rocket carts are going to be so much less effective. And chemistry, so they're going to take even more damage. Purple's up. It's still a lot to ask to come back on water. It's the ship's numbers are so different. I mean, a good attempt here for sure, but I think it's just a little too far gone. I guess the rocket guards are still standing for now, but... And indeed, now the composite bowman switch is coming in. Especially post-buff, I wonder how good composite bowmen are. They have, what, 50 HP with the elite? And 2 melee armor, I think. So that's a tanky unit. Well, this is also a thing that's happening. I mean, I guess that castle's going to come in, and you will have the edge of the Trev War. Yes, again, no idea what happened to Onimaru in game number 1, but this game, it looked much more what I would expect from players of this caliber. Elite Comp Bowman coming in, it is still a very cheap elite upgrade. Or Castle from Dogao. I mean, maybe if he could have gotten Castle Age Siege Engineers blue, then maybe he could have been able to defend a bit better with that 8 range. But, I mean, it feels like too tall of an ask. One Treb sniped, all the rocket carts going down. This is coming up Millhouse here for Onimaru. Do people even get that reference? I feel like, I don't know, is that too obscure of a Simpsons reference? I mean, again, the towers are cute from blue, for sure. Talking about, yeah, but that's, you know, no one ever has any idea what I'm talking about in the first place. I mean, I do think that Kingstone was a little late to Imp. He's got 5 petards. Very close. One more petard will do it. Yeah, he'll get the petard out and get the kill there. Unless the pathfinding is too bad, but no, he's fine. He's fine. That would have been so awkward if the pathfinding screwed him. Nope, he's fine though. Relevant Cavalier upgrades coming in, still trying to buy time, but this is absolutely a losing battle. I would play the clip, but, you know, we can't get the stream censored. Build in together. Yeah, actually. The settlements and the Folvarks are literally mill houses. The Folvark especially. Cavalier are going to come in and help clean this up. I don't think Jonathan Swordsman's going to be really the unit you want. You want Pikeman here. Paladin's on the way. Obviously, that's going to be a huge difference maker in favor of the Huns. Because it's always coming in Millhouse. Yep. Look how fast those fast fire ships are. Oh, I think that's the game just speeding up because GG was called. Never mind. Yep. I was like, wow, fire ships are fast. Oh, wait a minute. Literally the game going faster. Anyway, we're all tied up here at 1-1. Dominant game there from the Barbatacos. Kingstone just crushing Ryutaku on water, and then everything else falling apart in part because of that. And of course, Dogao getting super far ahead of blue. Right. Ooh, Fortress is next. Let's go. A month ago? I mean, I think it makes sense, right? You're in the Middle Ages, you want to have a Holy Roman Empire campaign. And it also, again, it's throwing a bone to the German audience. Not because it is inappropriate, but just like highlighting that is certainly going to make, I think, a lot of the German players more interested in it, especially in the 2000s when it's not like you have German history represented in English-speaking media very well often. Anyway, that is the Wu and the Armenians and the Huns winning over the Malay and the Berbers and the Jurchens. Yep, exactly. That was a Barbataco's home map. You can see what the Sibs were in game number 1. It was Celts, Ethiopians, Ketons winning. Celts, Ethiopians, Ketons over Vikings, Shu, Georgians. Right. Update this. Or college teacher? Both. And this is no idea what anchor stands for. Maybe they really like stopping ships and parking them. Ornlu a stretch. All right, let's see what they're going to be going with next. Fortress Civ certainly would include Vietnamese, Lithuanians, Burmese, Teutons perhaps. And then Chinese, Mayans, both going to be very good. Turks going to be very good. Burgundian Pocket, certainly viable. Probably some of those civs. Khmer, another good Fortress Civ. Park. Dash is sleeping right now. Oh, what do you know? It was all civs I just mentioned. All right, 2 minutes, guys, and we will be getting into the next game. JoE 2 players, that's true. All right, we are here on Fortress.
Nhà bẩm có thảo dân có gì sai bảo. Chờ lái kiến điện hình.
All right, Dogao going to be here in the blue as the Vietnamese on the south flank for Onimaru Barbatakos. Miguel going to be the green Lithuanians in the pocket. And Kingstone, the Cyan Teutons on the flank. Ooh. What's he got planned there? Don't think he's going to be tower rushing. Could be monk rushing. Meanwhile, blue is going to be the purple Turks here on the north flank for Anchor. Ryutaku is going to be the yellow Khmer in the pocket. And Yukget's going to be the red Chinese on the south flank. So Chinese versus Vietnamese already feels pretty good for Vietnamese. They are one of the better equipped civs at dealing with Chinese. I mean, yes, there is that literal historical inspiration where you have good skirmishers and rattan archers that are very good against Chinese rocket, Chukonu and whatnot. So even though Chinese are a bit of a better civ overall, don't do something stupid, you get.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey,
Kingstone here. Teutons versus Turks. Again, this feels good for Turks. But I'm not entirely sure what Teutons have planned anyway. Normally they're going to be a pocket civ. I mean, their infantry siege play in late game is very good, but again, I'm curious as to what the plan is. Feels like it might be tough to get there versus Turks. Teutons you want to play as a high eco civ, not a low eco civ in general, right? Unless you're tower rushing. And then Khmer Pocket versus Lithuanians. Two civs that kind of do different things. Khmer have a super good eco. Elephants are super good. Scorpions can be good. Ballista elephants can be good. But it's not really like a mobility and centric civ. Not in team games, at least. Not in this sort of context. Whereas Lithuanians are sort of the opposite. You have great mobility, a super powerful cav unit, but you don't really have an insane boom at all. So it'll be interesting to see how exactly this dynamic is going to play out. Because I like the flank more on this side and on this side, so that checks out. And then the pockets, I think, just do kind of different things. Remember also on Fortress Khmer farmers, you start farming earlier with Khmer, which is nifty. Anyway, you get on his way up to the Feudal Age. Chinese eco is still going to be pretty darn insane on this map. And Ryutaku, the last one to click up, but he is Khmer. Does he have enough gold? Totally. What? Ryutaku, you need 6 gold, man! Okay, needs to send one more bill over.
Аж посирочись.
He can actually build a lumber camp, so he has exactly 200 stone. And it is Fortress. Nothing going to be too aggressive.
Sveiki. Klausau. Ką įsakysi?
Well, Castle Age is all on the way. Oh, I was like, where are the buildings? There they are, right in the corner. Pinging the tower for some reason. But yeah, we'll have to see what the Castle Age game plans are going to be. if we're going to see aggression from anybody, I would suppose it would be Teutons. Turks probably going to be more Imperial Age-centric in their aggression. Pockets are going to boom unless something truly bizarre is happening. In fact, actually, the better question is just going to be how aggressively is Miguel going to try and go out on the map and look for relics, because this particular version of the map has 7 relics. But you can see, based off the stone count, everybody's booming. Okay. All right, so nobody going too aggressive. Remember, you start with 50 stone, so you only gather the extra 50 stone if you're adding in the 2 extra TCs immediately, which is clearly what both players will be doing, or both teams will be doing. And so, we enter Lodge des Chateaux. All right, so let's see. Oh, that's actually a very early monastery from the Khmer player. Huh, check this out. So we have 2 TCs and a monastery coming in from Miguel. That's only just now the 3rd TC coming in with a faster monastery from the Khmer. Are we seeing any unique units yet? I don't see any. Turk player also just adding in economy. That's what everybody's doing. Still, it's going to be tough to go around the map and pick up a bunch of relics with all the scouts hoovering around. So we shall see.
Efendim? Sen de esin çalay.
Well, not a whole lot to talk about. This is the downside of Fortress, as much as I love playing it, and I love the fights late game. One Janissary out, one Latus out. The issue is, I still think it's very difficult to prevent Lithuanians from getting a bunch of relics in these settings. That, yeah, 4th TC here for you to get. So we each have a flank that's actually adding in another TC very early on. Overall vill count between the 2 teams is comparable. Turks do have the slight downside, though, that they have a worse eco than all of these other civs in the game. Even Lithuanians are better with the extra food you get early on with your TCs. 4th TC now coming in from green. Also, maybe blue, not the best macro. Oh, that's annoying. Still, the relic is literally in the base. That's so annoying. You're gonna get it sooner or later. But it does mean that... Okay, there's another relic coming in. That's TC number 5. Holy cow. This man must be stopped. He's too dangerous to be kept alive. Again, nothing terribly crazy happening from Dogao. Everyone is happy to boom up right now. Tan archers are going to be on the way, though, and it is going to be down to Yukit to figure out how to counter rattan archers as the Chinese, which is much easier said than done. Yeah, Latus is going to clean up the forward light cavalry, And again, you're gonna get those 2 relics in at the very least. So already you're able to match Blast Furnace and getting to that critical 20 base attack with your Latus. 20 base attack is huge because a lot of the units in AoE 2 have an amount of HP that is divisible by 20. So that's usually 1 fewer hit to kill. You're still probably going to be able to get at least that relic and maybe that one too. So you still are probably going to end up with 4 relics. 1 relic in right now for yellow. This one might have not been scouted by either team. Not scouted here from Onimaru Barbatakos, and actually is scouted well. Nicely done. On those bombard towers, they get barbecue and tacos. Another relic coming in over here. And here we go. Castle time. Dogao's stuck on 3 TCs. He's likely going to click up to Imp faster. And there is literally nothing you can do to stop this. At all. Loom just now going to be coming in. And Leichai here as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti Mr. Yo. Nowhere near Imperial Age. Dogao's gonna click up soon, and this just feels absolutely horrible for Anker. Literally castle right between 2 exposed TCs. And there's Imperial Age. Oh yeah, this is obviously super good. Oh, and if yellow's opening with Cavalier, that feels really bad for Anker. I mean, Red's eco, I'm sure, is really good. It is indeed. He's already 3,000 resources ahead of Dogao. But Dogao has the rattan archers. He's got 2 castles with which to produce them. He's up to Imp a lot faster, and he gets free conscription. So, and he's also on 76 mil, so his eco's not bad. You know, given the context of the game. But, like, the Leichai are gonna just destroy those knights. And indeed, he will try and get 2 Halb cannons and onagers and stuff like that as the Teutons, but it is going to be a bit tricky versus the Turks. At the very least, Cyan is up to Imp a lot faster than Purple, and I actually don't know what is up with Blue's macro. As in Blue, the player, not the color. I guess he's basically even, but he's quite far behind in villager count. But that's like the danger of you have a Civ that's more about slower units from the pocket. So you need to make sure that you're as safe as possible. Now, Yukit is up. He still has a lot of villagers, but you need trebuchets and Chukonu. Maybe you can try and go for heavy rocket cart as Chinese. I mean, heavy rocket carts with rocketry are very good. They do a lot of damage, but Vietnamese bombard cannons will likely have a lot to say about that. This is actually the Imp TC. It's risky, but I can understand doing it because you want to make sure that the TCs that you have that are safe are all producing villagers. Because that's going to be your big advantage at this point. Anyway, I still have the very strong sneaking suspicion that despite yellow being ahead of green in terms of economy, Leichai are going to absolutely murder all of the knights. That's it. The castle count is pretty low. Oh, he's actually going to be going for regular cavalry as well. Might transition into the latest later. Really turn it into laterus. Am I right, chat? Anyway, the knights have terrible upgrades here. If you're lucky, you get a Treb Snipe, but you're not even going to get that. Interesting walls. 1 out of 10 joke. Honestly, that's pretty good for my... That's good for my record. Anyway, obviously Lithuanians, even if they aren't able to get to the latest yet, you're still looking at Lithuanian paladins, which are very solid. Looks like you actually were able to deny that final attack, which is nice here for Team Anchor. Looks like 3 relics, and I don't know where that last relic is. It's somewhere. Yeah, like it's 4 trebuchets already. Now yellow is trying to switch into elephants. But is this simply going to be too late? Trebuchets are going to go down fast, which you obviously, again, need for Chukonu. Elite Janhusasaries are going to be coming in as well. Getting a dose of reality, yeah. Well, there are some Chukonu out. You have Elite Janissarian. The Teutons go Halb Siege. Crenellation. I mean, this castle is amazing here for Kingstone. On a huge hill with crenellations. I understand Teutons on this map in pocket. I don't really understand them on flank. BBT artillery coming in, though, for purple. Still, again, Vietnamese crush Chinese so hard in this sort of situation that I'm not entirely sure it matters all that much. So long as Kingstone doesn't die horribly, which at the very least Teutons are very good at slowing the game down, I feel like you're probably fine. Still, as we say, chat, the Muma kill is ready for battle. And they're at least going to be pretty good here. Alb coming in for blue, but again, the downside is that your eco isn't all that insane as Dogao here. He's still 6,000 resources behind Yukit, although Yukit is mostly wood collected, which again doesn't usually matter all that much. Got 2 castles here to the north, so actually that's really good from Yukit. Look at this, he's actually getting to a decent number of Elite Chukonu and Rams. That isn't happening though, and those vills are going to have a really bad day. Type of Germans being efficient comes from. Germany had a big industrial revolution, right? We're huge in the industrial revolution. Bismarck? Possibly. The Prussian state was famous for its organization, both politically and militarily. And that kind of transferred to the German Empire. Oh, I think Yukit might be just a little too greedy in trying to get those castles down. That said, the elephants are here. Still, these are fully upgraded Lithuanian paladins. They do a lot of damage. Not enough elephants. That is the mobility advantage right there of the cavalry units. I mean, blue is, again, Turks are very well set up in this matchup, but I feel like it's just going to be slow. Still, Kingstone didn't set himself up in time to deal with blue properly. I mean, that's a lot of artillery bombard cannons. It's very inefficient and bureaucratic. Well, such is life. Reputations will have to come and go. All right, Rattan Archer's trying to snipe the Chukonu, or the Chukonu try and snipe the Halves. And the castle will fall. Just 2 castles from which to produce Chukonu. They are fully upgraded, though. Yeah, you got all upgrades now. Remember, rocketry doesn't affect Chukonu anymore. It's just built into the elite upgrade. His nickname for team games. And here, Janissary's on the other side, guys. Mr. Karbunka with the 13 months. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Barracks now coming in here from red, and that castle will fall, finally. Again, credit to Yukit for making something out of a terrible situation. Now, it is absolutely on him to let Dogao get that amazing castle up uncontested, but in terms of reacting to the bad situation, which is sometimes all you can ask of a player, that is very good. And right now, Ooh, those bombard towers are denied, and look at this. Kingstone is like, let's try this again with the castle. Oh man, there's just something extra intimidating about the Middle Eastern bombard towers, probably because of Turks. Also Byzantines back in the day. Alright, Cap Rams are here. Yeah, Michuko Nu plus Battle Elephant is really good. And Miguel not really able to get to the latest still. He's only on one castle. It's that Ironclad coming in. But look at the Siege Rams here for Yukit. Again, doing a really good job of getting both the Siege and the army component here to really start to blitz through Dogao's base. Scores are very close. You have all the relics you need. It's really hard in a big team game to stop the Lithuanian player from getting a bunch of relics. But I mean, look at this, guys. This is literally everybody over here, but the Paladins are coming in. Where are the rest of the elephants? You're on 156 vills, which, I mean, I get it. They're elephants. They're expensive. But it still feels like all you need of blue is to just hold the line here. I mean, to be fair, again, that's not necessarily easy. Now we have the ironclad rams, which can't even be punched down by villagers as effectively. They actually have 2 melee armor. Still in well, he doesn't have any castles. Everything's been focused on getting paladin resources, and now he's going to start slinging. Last furnace about to be in, so the elephants are about to be fully upgraded, but is it going to be enough? Onimaru have a big army lead still. Still, I feel like, again, Turks can hold the line. I mean, these are 2 very, very good defensive civs in these sorts of situations, Turks and Teutons. But that's going to benefit the player who just doesn't need to push, which in this case is, I guess, blue? Like, bombard cannon there was sniped. Also, it's nice to see Janissaries behind and sending up their hit. Well, they don't have the map control for it, right? Dogao making sure that he has a presence here to the south of the map so the markets aren't getting up. Whereas we have this corner here. I mean, it's classic control 3 corners. Eichmann now coming in, but red doesn't have much of an army. Yellow's now having to make hussars instead of elephants, which you obviously don't want to be doing if you can help it. Is it a confusing name? You bet it is. Chinese on pikeman? Yeah, it's not what you're looking for at all, and that army value is heavily in favor of Onimaru BBT for that reason. Now, the Paladins are going to be presenting much more of an issue than the Halbs are. More BBTs are being attempted, at least. Castle's in a great spot, though. I mean, I think that you really needed to make sure you got those bombard towers up before. Make sure that you can't get a castle back up over there. Hussar raids can be annoying, don't get me wrong, but it still feels like you need to get that trade going. You can see walls coming in as well, just trying to deny that trade as best you can. That castle's still standing. That's actually a lot of siege units here from Dogao still left. Very good from him. Starting to get some walls, team wall set up as well. And yet, we do have Onimaru that are going to be switching up their attack, so moving the armies down this way.
Efendim.
Oh, that castle's going to be under heavy threat again. Yukit has 0 gold. He literally can't even afford Halb. And now we're going to have Imp Skirms coming in to, at the very least, supplement the Rattan Archers. There's only 1 castle right now for Dogao, so it's not like you can mass-produce Rattan Archers. Yeah, I mean, look at this trade, though. It is just very, very poor. Right now, Onimaru getting themselves very well set up to be taking this game number 3 and taking the lead in the series for the first time. Look at this siege setup from Dogao. Holy cow. 6 bombard cannons and 7 trebuchets. Those castles don't stand a chance. Dogao's king? I don't know. In this tower. That's not an issue. should be a dead bombard cannon. Nope, not even. More halves coming in. Yeah, I feel like you're just going to be running out of steam here as Anchor. This trade is not going to win you a game. 25k army value. Everybody basically max pop right now for Team Onimaru. Castle taking 12k damage, but I mean, Kingstone making excellent use of those Teuton castles on the hill. It's not a position you really could afford to give up as purple. I mean, those Janissaries are certainly going to do a lot of damage. CNZSD. No, the team name is Anchor in the sign-up sheet or on Wikipedia. Well, Captrams and Paladins coming in, the trade's getting destroyed, and although the populations are nominally very similar, this doesn't feel very good at all for Anchor going on. I mean, the Chinese player making elite skirmishers, guys.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this ain't getting stopped anytime soon. Oh, no. Guys, the dwarves are delving too greedily and too deep. We're almost at 70 Lithuanian paladins. Oh, no. Oh, no. What on earth are you doing? I guess he was trying to make something big happen there because his team was in a bad spot. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Ow.
Owie.
I mean, you got yourself into a nice Tom Nook there, but yeah, that is not going to be enough. And Onimaru BBT, largely off of the back of the initial castle drop from Dogao, completely threw off Anchor, and then they never got trade set up. And that is not going to be a great way to win a game. You'll have 20,000 gold collected. You get not even 10,000. KD super good for Miguel as well. All right, that is Barbataco's taking the game. That is Vietnamese and Lithuanians and Teutons winning over Chinese and Turks and Khmer. A lot of draft priority there as well. Not ideal at all for Anchor. So we got Migration and Team Acropolis left. So obviously two very different maps. Chinos. All right. Looks like Team Acropolis will be the next map, so that feels like Hindustanis and Magyars and Tatars. Okay, so Japanese are a no-brainer for migration. Probably Inca's flank. Maybe Inca Malian flank and then Japanese pocket. Which would then leave, like, Hindustanis, Magyars, Tatars, Burmese for Acropolis? Well, I mean, it's much easier for people to schedule on weekends than weekdays, remember? Just not need water. They need a good early game water sibs. Much more important than having good late game water sibs. Need to have a good sib for fighting for land in the late game as well. Anyway, Mayans and Wei feel very likely for Acropolis. And then maybe Mongols as well. Maybe Gurjaras. And then it's going to be almost certainly Burgundian pocket, Roman flank, and I have no idea what the other flank is going to be for Anchor on migration. We'll have to see. They are in the lobby. We should be ready to go momentarily. All right, I'm ready to go, guys. I hope these guys are ready to go. All right, minute 42. Whoa, okay. All right, let's see what's going on here, chat. How's Dash? Dash is just fine. Ugh. Like I said earlier, I probably may or may not stream. Great game. Guys, let's see if we can spot the issue. Why would these guys resign right away? Can we spot the issue, chat? It's pretty subtle. But I think you might just be able to see what the problem is. Wait, why do they have a queen, too? What the heck? Why do they have a queen? They have no scout cavalry, but they have a queen instead of and a king. Huh. Well, I'm going to take a quick break then. I'll be right back. Need a couple minutes before they get back into it. All right. I return. All right. Match point here now for Onimaru. They lost the first game, which we didn't see, but they won the games that we did see. They looked very good, so no idea why they dropped the first one. We'll have our Kingstoner here in the blue as the Musica, here to the north flank. I thought they just wouldn't be played at all, but here we are. So Gao's going to be the green Magyars in the pocket, and Miguel the blue Hindustanis on the south flank. We had a really good game on this map earlier. Oh, look at this. Blue. Going to be the purple Gujaras, and he's actually getting some piggies from his ally. Getting all the food there in the mill. Does it even matter? I mean, ever since they changed it to be logarithmic instead of linear, I feel like adding those extra pigs really doesn't make much of a difference. Anyway, Mayan's here for Yutaku to the north. Way in the pocket for Yuket. So, what do we think? The meta isn't quite as set on this map. You can see that, for instance, Kingstone is going to be going up here on 20 pop. So he's very unlikely to be going for a fast castle. Dogao is probably going scouts. Yeah, okay, so everyone's going up fast. So we're probably seeing double scouts and then archers from Kingstone. So just a little bit of an alteration from the double archers and scouts that we see on Arabia. Meanwhile, on this side, are we going to have a fast castle? It looks like Yukit is indeed going to be doing that, because it looks like Ryutaku just going to be playing regular archers, and Blue playing scouts, I think. There isn't a barracks yet. It's still probably going scouts.
Shut it.
Alright, archery ranges are on the way.
Ashike.
Atut.
Atuts.
Oh, wait, what's Kingstone doing? Oh! I was like, wait, where's the archery agents? Okay. Interesting. Is this actually good? I mean, you're still having to push uphill. Ryutaku's just going archers. Maybe he was thinking that his opponents would be focusing more on an FC. But yeah, Blue's just opening scouts. Oh, actually, camel scouts even. Huh.
Sure.
Ville's here as well for Kingstone. I'm not too sold on this, actually, for Barbatacos.
Shot it. Ashike.
All right. FC Xianbei? I was thinking it was FC Haeguang Cav. Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Shot it.
Got the scouts here as well from Miguel. And the scouts from Dogao. Remember, it is still 2v3, but the camel scouts are going to perform really well versus the double scout cavalry army composition, so obviously I really like that from Blue, but it's still 2v3, right? So this still might be good enough for... Nope, it's not. Never mind. Yep. Camel Scout's good. Camel Scouts are really good! Holy cow. That's crazy. Nope, I mean, it's 5 bonus damage. You literally do double the damage of the enemy scouts. So yeah, we cannot really call this build a success so far. Castle Age coming in now for yellow. He'll have Haeguang Cav soon. You are getting to be mostly walled at this point. Ish. Kinda. Exaggerated. But it's like, against Camel Scouts, why would you go for a double scout opening like that? It's not like the Magyars player couldn't go FC Cav Archers. FC Knights for CA? Yeah, I mean, like, you could just say Miguel go Scouts, Dogao go FC Cav Archers, and Kingstone go FC Gachas. Witches.
Shot it.
How long will this tournament last? I don't know. It's on Wikipedia. Ah, no, it is going to be for our good friend John Bay. Since they don't have cavalry. Very good. They should be stronger? Yeah.
Ashike. Ongo. Shot it.
Good old Ongo. You are trapping the scouts. Losing a Vil, though. Actually, 4 Vils, holy cow. And, not like it's that great. One range, one say. Are Shanbeis good enough here? Okay, forward TC. I just thought it would be like FC double stable Haegwang Cav. I feel like that would be a lot stronger in the short run. You don't really have the eco to go for Haegwang Cav and Xianbeis. Just play away like a good Knight Civ, which they basically are with the Haegwang Cav. Asselage coming in for Dogao. He will be the first player on his team up. Kingstone's still pretty far away. Miguel gonna click up pretty soon. Now, Cyan is still able to come home with 12 archers, but he's going to need to rebuild both archery ranges, and that's obviously very expensive. You can afford both? Yeah, but then you don't have blacksmith upgrades, and then that's not as good. Those ranges are going to get taken down. I mean, at least you have a second TC in, but like I said, this just doesn't really feel that great.
Sure.
There's range number 2 for you, Get. That's, you know, what? What? By going forward? Is that Kingstone throwing or like just a bad team strategy? I mean, it depends on whose plan it was in the beginning. Dogao is going to switch into CA. Have archers coming out. Oh, well, Koreans are the only civ with all the techs at the university, and always have been the only civ with all the techs at the university. Yep, they're the only ones. Okay, some camels here for blue. Adding in a second stable. Only one extra TC now coming in for Dogao. So it kind of feels like the Shenbei Raiders are going to be more of a 1v1 unit than a team game unit in this situation. A nice bit of value here from Miguel. Going to get some villagers. Good. Yeah, I mean, there are several good university E-civs.
Shot it. Ashike. Tabish. Shot it. Ashike. Tabish. Shot it. Tabish. Ashike, tabish.
Well, Anchor do have a big army lead right now. EC's denied. Diane is going to get a castle out now, as he's just going to try and switch over into the Guecho Warriors. This still feels really tough here for Onimaru, and Anchor want to bring us to a game 5, which would be on migration, which I would pretty heavily favor Onimaru on, in general. Got a lot of archers here for red. Yellow's at least on the 2 TCs. Oh my goodness, Miguel is really being active with these scouts. 4 eco kills on them and climbing, although they will eventually get cleaned up. For the TC there at the back for green and for blue, but there is just this wrecking ball of units at the front of your base that is not going to be going away anytime soon. I mean, okay, Bodkin's just now in. Ballistics is on the way. Padded archer armor as well. Hindustani camels are here to help out, so that is about as best fight as you could ask for. That you could ask for. 98% of the time, the best formation is just line formation. You want your units to be as compact as possible. Not only does it make controlling them easier, but it means it reduces the amount of surface area for your opponent to hit you. Now, there are exceptions, like when you are facing units that deal splash damage. Or if you're working in very small numbers, box formation actually gets you even more compact than line formation. And as far as stance goes, it doesn't really matter. Some people do stand ground, some people do aggressive. Anyway, yeah, Onimaru is pretty dead. Pretty dead. I just didn't like their approach as much. I think you need to adjust to what you're up against. Or maybe that was their plan in this case, based off of the civs, in which case I think it just wasn't a very good plan. Kingstone trying to add TC number 3. Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty absurd comeback. There's already a 90 population advantage for Anchor at the 25-minute mark. Now, it's true that Yukit's only on the 2 TCs right now. Still on 72 vills, though. Way Eco's pretty mind-boggling. Red's on 2 TCs, but mines don't really need a ton of vills, and now Purple is getting up to those 3 TCs as Gurjaras. You know, Timadi, Shiva, Mahaja, and all that. Good. I mean, you can't have a unit that's good at macro. Nor are there really civs that are good at macro. Like, macro is a skill that you have as a player. It's not really something that is based off of civ or strategy even.
Again. Shot it.
Well, this game sure feels pretty darn over. More camel upgrades now even coming in for Purple. That was a small advantage that Miguel had at that point, but that's not going to last much longer. 20 vills lost for Dogao. 11 lost for Miguel. Kingstone's only lost 3, but I'm still not very sold on this whatsoever. That TC sure as heck ain't happening. Here's GG. Anchor tying up the series, and we are going to a game number 5. And I just didn't love the strategy. The defense was very good. I mean, that fight with the camel scouts versus the scout cavalry, not only winning 2v1, but crushing 2v1, or I guess 1v2 in that sense. I mean, that's all you needed to know about that game. And that was indeed the Hindustanis and the Magyars and the Musica, losing to the Mayans, the Wei, and the Gurjaras. So, this feels like Romans flank, Burgundians pocket, and then either Mongols or Sicilians flank, depending on what you prioritize. And then Japanese pocket, Malian flank, Inca flank. I think that's what we're going to be seeing. Not a lot of top tier civs, though. I mean, Japanese and Burgundians are both very good pockets, but you don't have an S-tier flank civ. I mean, Romans are pretty good. But, I mean, I would say that in terms of flank civ strength, it goes Romans, Incas, and Malians around the same, and then either Mongols or Sicilians lower than that. A draw? It's almost impossible to draw in Age of Empires. But let's see how migration goes. Will Anchor be able to pull off a big upset? Take down one of the Onimaru teams. S-tier Frank Civ? Not every team can be an S-tier Frank Civ. Only Franks actually get to be an S-tier Frank Civ. They exhibit the Frankieistness of frankness. We are missing a player. We have Ryutaku and Blue, so we're missing the other guy. You get. Let's see, guys. Let's see. I mean, it's weird, right? Because we saw 2 games where Barbataco was dominant. We missed the first game when they lost. And then in that last game, I just didn't think they had a great strategy. And Anchor just kind of smashed them in the face. So, what on earth are we to expect? Let's see, though, guys. Still streaming? It's only been 4 hours. It's not been that long. Although I probably will end the stream after this game because I got other stuff I want to do with my life. On a Saturday? So, to be fair, like I said, I'm probably taking tomorrow off, and I'm definitely taking Monday off. It's good tidings. Well, I don't think he's here today. It's actually been a little bit since I've seen him. All right, UKIT's now in the lobby. Hopefully we are good to go. Any moment now. Any moment now. It's hard to start a game of AoE, guys. I think we shouldn't judge them too much. All right, 74 seconds, and we will be getting into this. How do I like the gym? I don't like going to the gym, which is why I work out at home. That said, once I move out, finally, maybe, one day, I'll probably get a gym membership. I do not like the gym. I just don't like actually going there. And I feel a bit awkward. Like, I have an easier time getting myself to work out if I don't have to, like, literally go anywhere to do it. I mean, some people really like working out, and I certainly like the feeling of working out and, like, the sense of accomplishment and endorphins and all that stuff, but, like, do I like working out? No. All right, guys, last game of the day for me. We will have Dogao in the blue as the Incas on the east flank. Miguel in the green as the Malians in the pocket. Oh, wait, hold on. In Kingston, going to be the Saiyan Japanese on the flank. I thought this would be flipped. Malians on the flank and Japanese in the pocket. Interesting. So we'll have Ryutaku as the purple Romans on the west flank. Yukit as the yellow Burgundians in the pocket. And it will be blue as the red Sicilians on the east flank. So, Sicilians versus Incas. Incas are actually better early on because they have earlier wood savings. That said, Sicilians are pretty good when it comes to taking the land. Also, why does the middle of the map look so weird? Like, the snow looks all muted or something. This feels like I'm, like, going through the snow in Ibra, right? Isn't that the Zelda region with all the snow? It's like that all that muted dark snow. But yeah, Inca's gonna be better early on, Sicilian's better later on. And early on matters a lot more in this context. Romans, very strong flank civ here on the water early on. Japanese, probably going to be a bit better, though. They just have the better pure fishing economy. They have the stronger early wood savings. Is Yo the best pocket in the world? I don't think there's a single correct answer to that, but he certainly makes it. You can make a good argument for it. Malians versus Burgundians. Now, the fish booming potential isn't bad for Malians, but it is better for Burgundians. Malians still have a good all-around economy, though, and they can also go camels to help counteract the Burgundian cavalry, but then Burgundians can also add in Flemish militia really easily. Too bright. Ah, yes. Playing for a pocket carry. I mean, it's just they have so much experience doing that, right? Snow old. Well, if there's certainly something we know, it's that people are never happy.
Salve.
Eus, impera.
Impera.
Salve, impera. Prontus.
Yeah, the grassy snow and the dirt snow have been around for a while, but it's like really dark snow. Just looks a little weird to me. Also, it's kind of weird that, like, why is it all ice around the shorelines instead of like a mixture of sand and ice? Just looks a little weird. People are never happy. Yeah, checks out. All right. Dock number 2 coming in. All the flanks are on the way up. And, of course, you do have several different options as the pocket. You can go for fast Imperial. You can in the fire ships. You can go Castle Age fire ships. You can just go all on the land. You can do different things. That said, it looks like Miguel has a very good build here. 31 eco units to only 27. Although Yellow also probably has fishing lines, which he does not, actually. Yeah, 4 to 8 fishing ships. Actually, holy cow. That's a much, much better build here for Miguel. All right. The Gao has now hit feudal age. Will it be for pure galleys? No, it is going to be a fire galley opening to counter the galley openings. Blue is also opening fire ships, so already we're having that little bit of a difference in the meta where people opened hulks because they're the best in like the super close rush distance, but then people opened galleys to counter the hulks, and now people are going to fire ships to counter the galleys. Very confusing. But yeah, I feel like a big issue is just going to be the fact that Miguel 14 to 7 fishing ships, literally double the fishing ships. That's an early eco res collected is a bit better for Yukit, but probably going to be changing over time. Burgundian eco is good, but it's not half the fishing ships good. Early transport ship from Yellow, just being a bit annoying over here. I mean, you have all 3 scouts, gonna kill the Chompy. There is no loom. Ooh, interesting strategy. Gonna force defensive watchtower very early on. Hold up. Hold up. With a Donjon. Just gonna relocate the DJ. Oh my goodness, guys. Loom is only now coming in. Whoa. Okay, this isn't what I expected. All right, now that is a prepared strategy. Now you're not going to be able to get the Donjon in here. There are the fire ships. Wait, please tell me you at least have going forward without Loom, guys. What are you doing? going to transport the scouts over here, but I don't really think it's going to matter. Green also happens to have loom at this point, and will likely go for a stable in the middle. Meanwhile, things are going to be pretty peaceful over here on the side. Again, unless somebody really screws up, nobody should be able to win quickly here on the water. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be looking at 2 dead villagers right there, so any gains that you got are basically nullified. Looks like Dogao's still doing just fine at trying to win water. It is mind-boggling to me that blue doesn't have loom. Like, what on earth is he doing? I don't get it, guys. If you're going forward, loom is not one of those upgrades that it's okay to forget. Oh, jeez. Blue, pay attention! Yeah, that's going to be a win here for Team Onimaru. They already have a pretty sizable military advantage. I don't think anything should be too impactful. Actually, Ryutaku, not with the best naval numbers at the moment. We do have fletching in. We do have fletching in. You also get the extra armor, remember, which is very helpful for the Romans on their galleys. Landing looking like. Oh, we have 3 scouts over here. Oh, no. And he also doesn't have loom. Say it with me, guys. Research in loom makes your villagers harder to kill. Oh, my goodness. You saw the barracks over here. You know they have a stable on the mainland. That is not a new build here from Miguel, but this is rough, man. Okay, you do have loom coming in. This is a thing that's happening. Fires at least help out here.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. You could trap all the scouts. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. But you're getting a lot of villager kills in the process anyway, so you probably don't care all that much. You're 7 villagers ahead right now as Miguel relative to your counterpart. You do have some fire ships coming in from the pocket, but you don't have medium warships in yet, so Dogao's doing just fine here with all of his hulks. Nobody here is going galleys. On this side, it's just going to be all about the micro. 10 kills here versus... is Kingstone just heavily out-microing purple? Oh, you bet he is. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not going to get you very far in life. Yeah, this game already is looking kind of over. We do have purple on his way up, but he's just not been able to compete in the micro with Kingstone. I mean, I'd already argue that Anchor heavily overperforming what you'd expect, considering the team that they're up against, but right now, looks like the wheels are coming off in Game 5. Blue also now up. It feels like the Donjon had to come up, and you had to have loom in. And group be good on water? Nah. I just sink, indeed. Alright, second TC is up, which is something you can add in those Flemish Militia, which is also always very good, but you already have 2 TCs in the middle. 57 villagers for Miguel at the moment. He's got 5 fire ships to support with. There are more ships from the pocket on this side, but it looks like both flanks are kind of losing anyway for Anchor, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at this. Kingstone here with his Castle Age galleys. Oh my goodness, guys. Unfortunately, you just cannot afford to have your flank lose. You basically have to always fight at least to a stalemate. You're both going all in early Navy, so as soon as somebody loses, then they just have nothing going for them. Or at least win super hard on the other side, which is also not happening. Over double the army value right now. 15 Vil lead for Miguel. Another TC coming and just continuing to stretch that expansion over the middle of the map. You have double monasteries even. There's no cavalry component at all here actually for you to get, so he doesn't have anything to actually threaten his opponent's economy. But also, like, this is just so untenable. 35 to 13 kills in favor of Kingstone. Nobody with a positive KD right now here on Anchor. And they're all well behind in economy as well. Medium warships coming in, but you just don't have enough of a fleet right now. And this fight's even happening before medium warships comes in, so it's even worse. Adding a second TC on your starting island is almost never something you want to do. Kingstone adding a TC over there. It's like you almost have the right idea, but you need to have Loom. This push needs to do a lot more. And then you can't just get wrecked on the other side like this as you get either, and purple just can't lose a 1v1 this hard. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dear. Yep, they're just gonna call it. Like I said, there's literally nothing going for them in this game. Anyway, well done, Onimaru. Barbatacos will get the win, and they will win the series 3-2. Not as dominant a performance as they would like, but a win's a win, and that is all that matters. So, well done for those guys. That is going to be it for me today. Like I said, I probably won't stream tomorrow, maybe, but probably not. And we'll have to see from then on out. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.